Yeah, before we proceed, it's very important to understand. I'm sure you guys must have heard of what Zalora is, and you guys probably must have also purchased from Zalora at some point. But I think it's important to have a very formal introduction of who or what Zalora is and what our history is, what is the structure of our business is, right? So many of us probably have heard of Zalora, but very few have probably heard of our parent company, which is GFG, Global Fashion Group. So Global Fashion Group is a parent company. It's a global company with sister agencies or sister companies in various continents. We basically have 12 million plus customers, active customers in all the markets that we operate in. We have 10,000 plus brand partners, meaning on our website you see Nikes and Adidas and a lot of these brands, right? So there are more than 10,000 brands, small, big, all combined. There are more than 150 million average monthly unique visits on the platform. And in the market where we operate, roughly 75 to 80% of brand awareness, meaning within our target audience, let's say if someone in the age group of 18 to 45 is our target audience, if you ask 70, 80% of them, they would understand what Zalora is, or they would know what Zalora is. So it's GFG brands or all these sister agencies, the ventures of GFG are pretty established, pretty well known, and are almost the industry leader in whichever country they are operating. So talking about these ventures, so we basically have La Moda, which is operating in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan. Then we have Iconic, which is in Australia and New Zealand. We have Dafiti, which is in Brazil, basically the Southern America, Colombia, Argentina. Then we have Zalora, of course, the one where we work. It operates mainly in 7 markets: Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Brunei. So Brunei, I mean, technically it's 7, but Brunei usually is combined with Malaysia in terms of our operations. So, yeah. Okay, so I'll proceed. A very quick one that, like any other organization, we also have various departments. I think this is very important for you to understand, because I've seen people, although they have degree in marketing, but they end up joining operations or engineering. Sometimes people have degree in engineering and they end up joining marketing or revenue team, right? Some of these in e-commerce industry, especially, these departments are very dynamic, and it's not very hard for one person to kind of cross collaborate or join a department which is not relevant to their college degree. And so yeah, I think this is very important for you to understand that. Here we also have internally, we also call it 3 regions or 3 sectors. One is cluster, which is combined, which comprises of Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Then we have Indonesia and Philippines, and all of these regions or all of these offices have their own staff or employees, and almost from every department there's a representative sitting in Philippines, Indonesia. However, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia is the regional hub for Zalora, and that is where I operate. That is where I think in this call we also have people from HR department, talent team, Rachel, Ezian, Yanek. They also sit here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia office. So that was a very, very brief introduction of who we are. Jumping into the core topic, which is basically introduction to digital growth and advertisement, right? So I think this is no surprise that our lives have changed with the inception of internet. I'm not sure how many of you can really relate this pre-internet era, because I think all of you are very young, and this has become a new normal. But basically what we are trying to say here is that whether you are sleeping, whether you are in car commuting, whether you are in events, parties, you are on vacation, whatever you do, you basically are always connected, especially with the mobile revolution. It has become almost a synonymous of life. Internet has become a synonymous of life, right? So you are connected all the way. even while some of us, when we are at the very private time, when we are in the washrooms, we even use cell phones then, right? So what we are trying to say here is that internet and mobile has become part of our personal lives, and at every significant moment in our lives is documented as, we are kind of connected. This is also important. I think this is the foundational stuff for the upcoming slides, subsequent slides. Also, it is important to understand that how people interact on internet is also very different than how they are in real world. We are kind of, dual personality, whether we realize or not. So for instance, let's say if you don't like a celebrity, if you don't like an actor, or if you don't like a politician, it's very easy for you to go on a Twitter or go on a social media and comment something rough, comment something bad about them, right? However, if you see the same personality, same celebrity, same politician, you wouldn't really do that on their face. On their face, you probably will behave slightly better, right? So it is important to understand that people have different kinds of mindset while they are surfing internet, while they are surfing, browsing stuff online, while they are in the physical world. So there is a difference in psychological behavior, basically, psychology and the behavior. And hence, your communications and a lot of things has to change when we talk about internet marketing. So we'll go deeper into this and see that how this makes a lot of sense. Now, this is the most interesting slide, and this is the foundation of digital marketing in many ways, I would say. So guys, whatever you guys do online, on your phone, on your laptop, desktop, everything leaves a digital footprint, right? So everything that you do has some traceability, not at a personal level. So let's say if you're browsing, something to shop for Raya, no one would know that it's you particularly who's looking for a particular product. But every device, let's say your phone has a device ID, your phone has a mobile advertisement ID. If you go into the settings, you can check. So all of those things are being captured. Go and visit a website, you go and visit, or you perform a transaction, or if you kind of leave your email address in someone's newsletter, or you subscribe to newsletter, then I think all of those things are being captured. You go and watch videos on YouTube or Facebook, you like certain content, you dislike certain content, all of that is being recorded. Again, it's not something to freak out because it's not personally identifiable. No one would know that who really disliked or liked, or no one would know that who this person is using a particular device. But every device has an ID. So no one would know your name, your address, but they would identify the device, the ID, the mobile, right? And hence, so basically whatever you do online, so to summarize this, as I was saying, this is the foundational stuff you guys should understand, that in internet world, everything that you do is being recorded. I often say this, that everything that you do online and which is free, so consider that you are the customer, means you are being sold. For example, you use Facebook, but you never pay to Facebook for using their service. Do you pay Facebook to get a subscription? I mean, to access their platform, to log into Facebook? Do you pay? You don't pay, right? So whichever platform. So for example, even Google, right? You simply go to google.com and you browse something, you search for something. You don't pay for the service. It's free, right? So basically, whatever is free on internet is basically tracking your activities, because nothing is free. If someone is giving you a free service, means they are actually selling you or they are selling your data, right? So that's what brings me to fundamentals of Google. Of course, we know how Google operates as a search engine, but here we are trying to understand how does Google make digital advertisement possible? What is the core or fundamentals of Google? So basically, people ask a lot of questions to Google. For example, buy shoes online, where to find best burgers, or where to go for next vacation, best beach destination, wedding locations. n number of queries, different kind of queries. Google has almost become has become like an online guide, online teacher, online tutor kind of a thing, right? Whatever you have, whatever query you have, you put it on Google. So because you ask questions to Google, Google presents a list of most relevant answers, and person clicks on what they feel is the most relevant link. Now, because you have asked a lot of questions, this gives a lot of knowledge to Google about people, meaning they would know that what people are really seeking, right? And then basically Google offers website owners free revenue stream of traffic, gets data to drive its own product improvement. I mean, keeping it very simple. Because you put a lot of query in Google, Google understands what you want, and because Google understands what you want, Google also can sell that data to a website owner or to a business owner so that they can capture your attention. For example, let's say if you're searching buy shoes online, and if I know that yes, people are searching for buy shoes online, and I sell shoes, right? So I can ask Google to place my website. I mean, it's of course done in a very technical way. We'll cover that in the much later part. This is foundational, so let's understand in a layman terms, right? So I can ask Google that, hey, every time someone searches for shoes or buy shoes online, please place my ad on the top of Google search. And then I pay to the Google for every click that I receive. So Google understands what you want, and Google sells that data, or Google basically provides me a service to list my website on top of google.com so that I can receive the traffic and you can receive a relevant product. At the same time, Google offers an analytics service. I will cover, there's a last section of this presentation is on analytics. I'll cover more deeply there. But to give you an idea of what analytics is basically, in layman terms, understand this as a GPS. Let's say if you're walking out of your house and I put a GPS in your pocket, then no matter where you go, I will always be able to track you, right? So same way, every website, almost every business website has an analytics code behind it, an analytics tracking code. So every time someone opens a website, let's say you open Zalora.com, or if you open, let's say Facebook.com or any other website, each of these websites can understand who opened the website, which location, which IP address, which device. So basically, they can track how many times the website has been opened, from which area, which region, what content on the website has been browsed. Let's say if I sell, I have shoes, I have apparels, I have beauty. So which particular product or which particular page has received maximum visits? All of that can be tracked. And Google provides this service to most businesses, or the first level of preliminary service is free. And because Google provides a free service, meaning a business owner gets to know a lot of insight, but he doesn't pay for this. But at the same time, Google gets to know, or Google learns about users' behavior. Google knows that, okay, what people are visiting and whether they are buying stuff from it or not. So for example, let's say if you buy 200 ringgit worth of a product from Zalora, Google would know that you bought something from Zalora which was 200 ringgit worth. So they would know that, okay, you got a pocket size, or you often buy stuff which is between the range of 100 to 300. Let's say if that is what your history has been. So Google will be able to categorize you, and then sell that data to some advertisers who are looking for, someone who can spend money, who are looking for customers who can spend money. That's the Google side. Now let's understand Facebook. This is very interesting, actually. Now Facebook gets all this information, advertisement related information, from all the data that you give them. For instance, when you create your Facebook profile, you give them data about your age, your gender, where you belong to, your hometown, your current location, what degree did you do, or which college did you go, your interests, language, if you commute. And if you remember, while installing these apps, these apps will ask for permission to track your location, or permission to look into or your browsing history, or permission to check your SMS. And often we give these permissions, right? So basically, they can understand. For instance, let's take location as a example, right? Every time you have Facebook in your mobile running in the background, or even in some cases not running in the background, your location is being tracked because you gave Facebook app a permission to track the location. So when you commute, let's say you take LRT or MRT, or if you are even going in your own car, Facebook can sense that the app or the device is moving, and because the device is moving, they know that you are moving. You know what I mean? So all of your behavioral information is also with them. Let's say you go to Bali for a vacation, right? After COVID-19 situation has gotten better, people resume traveling. You go to the Bali and you check in at let's say KLIA. You say that, hey, flying from KL to Bali to Malindo Air, and you put you can tag the location where you are. Or let's say you check into a hotel. So all of that information which you share with your friend in the news feed, all of that information that you put on your Facebook is being tracked by Facebook algorithms, by the Facebook robots. And that's how they create your persona, that what kind of a person you are. Let's say you commute, you travel once in 3 months, you buy 4 times or 5 times online using your credit card or debit card. Facebook knows all of these things. At the same time, uh, as I said, that Google and Facebook related tracking information is available on all these websites. Most of these business owners will put a tracking information, Facebook and Google trackers, a GPS kind of a thing. So even let's say when you don't use your Facebook app, but you are using, let's say you come to Zalora and Zalora has a Facebook pixel implemented, Facebook tracker implemented on Zalora website. So you don't know, but you are being actually tracked by Facebook. You know what I mean? But again, as I say, there's nothing really to freak out as a customer or as a user, because there's no personally identifiable information. And this is true for everyone online in today's world. Everyone. There is no exclusion. No, I can't exclude myself. No one can exclude. And this is safe. There are privacy policies. There are data governance behind this. There is nothing personally identifiable, but these informations are being tracked for the to be used for advertisement purpose, so that you see relevant advertisement, and brands or the companies get to reach the relevant people, right? So for instance, let's say if I'm Air Asia, for example, or if I'm Malaysia Airlines or any particular travel company or an airline, and I only want to reach out to people who has interest in traveling, unless Facebook gives me a very clear indication that, hey, someone traveled 3 times in last year, or someone traveled 6 times, 3 times internationally and 6 times domestically, I wouldn't know that, yes, you are highly likely to convert. You know what I mean? If Facebook or Google is able to tell me that you have a travel history, you have an interest in traveling, then I know that if I show you an ad about going to Bali or Auckland or any other location which is of your interest, I know that there's high chances of you buying the tickets or booking with me. So that basically increases the chances of conversion, chances of booking, and I get a higher returns on investment. So I hope you guys are following me, and this is, I've been trying to speak in a very layman term. We'll step by step in the subsequent slide, we'll go in more details. Uh, yeah, maybe can I get an indication if this is fine? Should I mean, slow a bit, or is this okay?
Yeah, so far, okay. We
Yeah,
can
it's
Okay,
hear.
okay, sir.
okay, cool. So as a summary, why I covered Google and Facebook, because I think in the internet world, and especially in the digital marketing, these are the two biggest uh, companies. These are the two biggest companies which has the highest share of ad spend, right? So Google and Facebook together are basically worth, these are rough numbers based on, I think, previous years surveys and the data. Together, Facebook and Google are worth $1 trillion of business just from ads. right? And understand Facebook's mainstream of income is ads. Google's mainstream of income, because most of the Google services are free, most. Until 2015, 92% of Google's revenue, 92% of Google's money came from advertisement. All the ads that you see on google.com, all the ads that you see on a news website or a blog, that also comes through Google. Most of it actually comes through Google. We'll cover that later in the presentation, right? So this has been done on the back of, so all this 1 trillion worth of money or 1 trillion worth of ad industry by Google and Facebook has been done on the back of having the most information and developing their business based on it. So as I say, the data that you give to the Facebook, the data that you give to the Google becomes their revenue source. So it feels like, oh, we don't pay for Google, we don't pay for Facebook, but actually we don't know how the information is being, utilized. Yeah. Food for thought. What information now? I mean, assume that you are part of Zalora already, or any for that instance, any company. You might have your own business. Your family might have their own business. Just think that what data you have about the customers and how can you utilize it, or what data can you fetch from Google and Facebook, given that Facebook captures all of this, Google captures based on what you search and your browsing history. Think about it, that how can you utilize the customer data to do better marketing, right? I'll go in more details, but this is something worth thinking. Now, talking about Google and Facebook, let's understand what are the different channels that we have, right? So be it digital or be it non-digital, all the marketing channels can be largely divided into two pools. One is push marketing, one is pull marketing. What is push marketing? Push marketing is when the user, when the buyer, when the customer has no interest in your brand or in your product, but still you want to push your message, you still want to push your product. For instance, in the offline traditional example, I think it would be easier and clear to understand. Imagine you read a newspaper. Your intention of reading a newspaper or a magazine is to get information. Your intention is to get information. Your intention is never to see the ad in the newspaper. You see the ad, but your intention, your motive while opening up the newspaper was not that, okay, I want to see ads. Most cases, right? So user's intent is not towards product. User's attention is not towards product, but you still want to push it, right? So that is called push marketing. On the other hand, you have pull marketing, where customer is interested in the product. The customer has an intent of buying a product, and you just go and display yourself, you just go and present yourself or show yourself, so that it becomes easy for customer to purchase or convert. Taking a digital example here, where you open Instagram, what you want to do is you want to check out the posts from your favorite, from your friends, from your families, whosoever you're following, your celebrities, your actors, politicians, whosoever it is, right? Your intent is never to see an ad, but you still see an ad on Instagram, right? So same goes with Facebook, same goes with YouTube. You don't never go on YouTube to see an ad. You always go on a YouTube to see your favorite video, clips, artist, or whatever. So, and then the ad appears there. So that's push marketing. Same display. To explain display, display is basically all the ads that are on the content platform. For example, let's say you open Malaysia Kini or some news website or some blog, right? And you see a banner ad in the side, in the right hand side or in the bottom, you see a banner ad. So that is display. Display and programmatic are very similar. So it's basically the banner ads. We can categorize it that way, right? Same way, we have pull marketing. Pull marketing is when you have the intent. So for example, someone goes to Google and searches for new, let's say, yoga pants, buy yoga pants. So the customer has an intent of buying already. So he's in the mood of buying, right? And here he's expecting a website or a very relevant page where he can click and buy and check out and basically get a yoga mat, right? So that's full marketing. This is responsive marketing. This is uh, this is push marketing. This is mainly the awareness part or the engagement part. Now, both of these has a role because not every company is necessarily looking for online conversions, online transaction, online orders. For instance, there are lots and lots of products or companies who only want to do online brand building or build awareness. For instance, you would see Toyota or Honda ads. Now people know that you can't buy Toyota or Honda online. Yes, you can do some bookings, but buying a car is a very offline experience. You know what I mean? So it's not an online stuff. So people, I mean, companies like Hondas and Toyotas will be very, very, very active on these platforms because they know that this is what you are browsing, especially if you are a car enthusiast or someone who is interested in road trips or someone who drives a lot. They'll figure out who you are and they'll show you ads. We will go, by the way, we'll go deeper into this and understand how, let's say, if you have to start, what is the process like and how do you really determine uh, audience based on the interest and whatnot. So here we are still at the very top line. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is you think about P&G, the Nestle's, and a lot of these products, for example, Milo's and Maggie's and stuff, people know that you would only go into a mall and pick it from the shelves. Most likely, yes, you can buy it online as well, but these products are very offline driven kind of products. But you still need to do on brand building or a product awareness online because where the customer is, where the eyeballs of the customer is that is the place where you usually do the marketing, right? So yeah, a quick info on general cost, traffic quality, engagement, targeting on these platforms. So basically, the cost of advertising on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is usually low to mid. It's not very high. Traffic quality on Instagram usually is low to mid. Facebook also mid. Why? Because as we say, the intent of the user who are on these platforms is to consume the content. Their intent is not to consume ads, right? I might be repeating myself here, but as I said, these are the fundamentals, and you need to remember. Later, let's say when you go and join some company, some of you may come and join Zalora or whichever company you really get an opportunity in. These fundamentals will be very handy when you are sitting and working on a strategy, or when you are sitting in a meeting and deciding, oh, we have 1 million to spend. Let's say there's a Raya promotion happening. I have 1 million to spend. Which platform should I choose? Or which platform should get how much of a share? Because all of that depends on the objective of the company or objective of the campaign. Whether you want more sales, whether you want more awareness. So based on that, you'll do all of this, right? Also based on how much budget you have. So it's very important to understand all of this. So again, traffic quality is low to mid. Engagement is high on Facebook and Instagram. Engagement is basically when someone likes your post, shares your post, comments on your post. So slowly you are driving their interest, the engagement, right? So again, how can you target on these platforms? You can target by demographic, which is age and gender. You can target by psychographic, customer data. Let's say if you have your custom data, your data of your existing customers, you can upload it and target them again on these platforms. So these are the various ways of targeting. On YouTube display, you can target by keywords, meaning let's say someone searches for a particular keyword in YouTube, let's say beauty tips or health advice or fitness or home gym or home workout related. So you can buy those keywords and then show them health related ads. Let's say you are part of Johnson and Johnson, or let's say some health company or some pharma company. So you know that what keywords you want to buy because you only want to show your ads to someone who's interested in category or the industry which you operate in. If let's say if I'm Zalora, I want people who are interested in beauty or people who are interested in clothing or style or fashion. anything related to this, if someone searches on, or even for instance, fashion, movies or celebrity related content, celebrity related videos, if someone is saying, I would want to do a brand awareness campaign for Zalora on YouTube for those keywords or topics. So basically on these platforms like YouTube and blogs or display, you can target by topic, what interest, what keyword they are kind of looking for. If you look at SEM and SEO, which is basically Google, I'll also maybe it's not very clear to some of you guys. On Google, if you have noticed, let me actually show you an example here. I go to google.com and let me search buy shoes online, right? So you see these are ads, right? This is an ad because it says it's an ad. Here also, if you see, it says ad. Now here, it doesn't say ad. So all of, in the end, of course, it says ad. So basically, where it doesn't say ad, the middle portion is the organic. It's Google doesn't charge you for this. This is you can get these rankings. You can place your website here through SEO, search engine optimization. So search engine, Google is a search engine. You optimize your website to rank it on the first page. Right? Then of course you have second page, third page, fourth page, whatnot. But we know that people usually don't go beyond first page. So all the websites, all the business owners wants to be on the first page of the Google. But on these there are two ways to be on first page of the Google. As I say, here you see ads, here you see ad, here you see ad, right? Here if you notice, there's an ad. This also says there's an ad, right? And then this is all organic. So this is SEO and this is SEM. SEM is search engine marketing. You market here, and this is search engine optimization. Let me switch back. So yeah, this is free, but it requires a lot of effort. This is paid. You run a campaign, you pay to Google, and it places you right on the top. How does it place you? We'll also go deeper into this to understand, right? So general cost is medium, here is free. Traffic quality is high. Here you see the traffic quality was low or medium. Here the traffic quality is high. Why? Because the intent is there. Yeah. How do you target here? Basically, you target by keywords. You decide which keywords you want to show ad or which keywords you want to rank for, and that's how you get into the first page of Google. So yes, that was mainly the Google and all the other channels that we have. Now talking about Facebook, what are the targeting capabilities that we have on Facebook? I think we covered it already, but just to give you example, you can target someone by demographic. Demographic is basically relationship, age, location, language, education, job, connections. Psychographic, interest, app logins, previous ads which they have seen or they have interacted with, right? Let's say if you have seen Adidas or Nike's ad, and if you have liked those ads or if you commented on those ads, then I can use that information to show you Zalora ad because I know that we are in the same category, right? Then behavior, as I say, check-ins, time dates, booking, card usage. We can use all of this information to target them. So yeah, we can also target by uploading the data of the existing customer and retargeting them. That's Facebook. Something very similar. I'll now go very quickly for the fundamental slides. So again, as I said on display, we can target by keywords. We can target by topics, what topic people are reading, what keyword they are searching, what interest or custom intent they have, demographic again, and custom remarketing. SEM, search engine marketing, as I said, works mostly based on keywords. I'll later walk you through in details so that you understand how Google ranking is achieved. Same SEO. I think this will come in more details later. Now, I think this is where the interesting starts. So until now, what we have covered is is the fundamental, meaning what empowers digital marketing, what makes digital marketing so interesting. Because in traditional form of marketing, you have no choice but to go and target mass. For example, you do TV advertisement and your ads, let's say you work for P&G, or let's say you work for Zalora, or you work for Nestle, or you work for some airline company. You advertise your campaign on TV. Now, whether the person who's sitting in front of the TV has the buying power, whether he can afford your product or service, I don't know. Whether the right gender, for example, in some cases it will be male who will be making a decision. In some houses, female who makes a decision in the family, right? Decisions like what brands to bring, or what is the next vacation they should go on, or so you don't know who you are targeting. You are just targeting mass. Let's say it's a very makeup or a beauty related product, and in front of TV is sitting an old man or a boy. It's very irrelevant. It's very irrelevant, right? But you have no choice with TV advertisement. Same goes with your newspaper and stuff. But with online, it becomes very relevant, and that's one of the USP, unique selling point, or a strong point about digital marketing, right? That it's very, very relevant. It's very well targeted. So the wastage of money is very little, and the returns on investment, returns on your money, is very high. And why so? Because you are targeting your ads to a specific group of people who are likely to show interest, right? So, and all of that happens because Google, Facebook, and all of these internet companies are recording, are tracking the data, right? So that was the fundamentals part. Now let's go into the actual digital strategy, right? What is the right approach, or what is the ideal approach? Not to say right approach, but the ideal approach in digital marketing. Now, of course, this will differ company to company, but I mean, let's say if you want to make an ice cream, you first have to understand what an ice cream is, or how to make a plain vanilla ice cream before you go on to decide, oh, I want chocolate chip ice cream, or I want to make avocado or a mango flavor ice cream, right? So here we are talking about vanilla flavor, the basic one, so that you can understand what are the thoughts you should put behind while working on digital strategy. And if you go with a framework like this, it becomes extremely clear. It gives a lot of clarity to your mind, to your brain, on what you are doing, why you are doing, what you should do. So first of all, it starts with an objective. A company's or a brand's objective could be driving awareness, or it could be driving sales, or it could be driving consultation. For example, let's say I know that Zalora has a very good brand presence. Everyone knows about Zalora. So I probably don't need to, so Zalora has a lot of good brand presence, right? And we know that because Zalora has a good, trustworthy name, anything that we have on Zalora, any product that we have on Zalora has a higher chances of getting sold. So my objective could be just to get new product awareness. Let's say I have a new product on Zalora. All I need to do is just make sure my audience, my customer knows that I have a new product, and I know that it will fly. It will be sold, right? So objective could be awareness. On the other hand, let's say I'm a new company. People don't know about me, so maybe I want brand awareness. Instead of product awareness, I need brand awareness. Or let's say my product is there in the market, my brand is there in the market, people know about brands, people know about products I sell, but I want to sell more and more products. So I basically have to go with sales objective, right? So based on the objective, what objective you decide will have an implication at each of these stages, right? So first you have to decide an objective. That why are you doing a marketing? What is the objective? What is the motive of doing a digital marketing or marketing campaign in general? Then once you decide the objective, then you decide an audience, who you want to target. For example, I have new modest wear collection, right? So now I can decide I want to target audience who's primarily Malay audience, because they are the one who's going to buy modest wear. Or let's say if I have new kids assortment, then I know that I only want to target kids related clothes, right? So I know that I have to target parents, right? In general, anyone who falls between 18 to 45 is a perfect customer or is a potential customer. But to sell the kids clothes, I can't target all of these people. I have to be very selective about my audience, right? Again, so once you decide the objective, depending on that, you will decide your audience. Once you decide your audience, then you will decide the channels. Channels means Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right? Let's say if I know that I want to do beauty sales and I want to do it for target women or girls. So I know that YouTube and Instagram are the better channels. Now, of course, there'll be a lot of insights behind each channel and each audience, which also, we take into consideration. But here, top line, trying to understand, right? Or if you want, if you are selling, let's say, a very straightforward product which requires no education, no awareness, nothing, all you need to do is make sure that every time someone searches on Google, your ad is present. So go with a very heavy budget on Google search, so that every single time someone searches for, let's say, shoes or let's say, or whatever product you are selling, every single time someone searches, your ad appears on the top, right? Then depending on the channels that you have chosen, in most cases we choose all the channels, but what differs is the media mix, meaning the percentage of budget that is being allocated. So anyway, I think that will come here. Yeah, so once we decide objective, based on that we decide audience, based on that we decide channels, that what channels is the right one to target the sorry the audience, and based on that what ad formats. Then you decide the budgets and the KPIs. KPIs is your key performance indicator, basically results, what you want to track or what you want to optimize towards. And you decide the budget as well. Now, because you have decided channels, not all channels will get equal budget, because not all channels will perform similarly. As we saw, some channels have a higher quality traffic, some have lower quality traffic. But some channels give you a lot of traffic, but on a very cheap rate. Some channels will give you little traffic, and the cost of getting traffic is very high. So budget will depend on the performance of the channel. Then we decide the timeline, how long you want to run a campaign. Let's say if I have a Raya promotion, I need to decide how early I want to start promoting my Raya assortment or Raya related products. Meaning, should I start promoting 4 weeks advance of the actual festival, the actual Eid date of Eid, or should I promote it just 2 weeks before that? So it really depends on the budget, what your objective is, what your targets are, if you want to achieve higher targets. So all of those factors will define what timeline you go with. Then you execute your campaign. Then you basically run the ad or run your digital marketing campaigns. It could be email campaigns or anything. And you go and understand the report. So once you are doing, once the campaign starts to deliver or once the campaign has ended, you start to understand that what did it perform as per the plan and what can we learn for the next campaign. Because digital marketing is all about testing and learning in many ways. If you don't test, you don't know. For example, let's say on Facebook, I can show you, to sell a shoe, I can show you 2 different kinds of creative, 2 different kinds of banner. Now I need to understand which banner got me more clicks, right? Which banner is more responsive, which banner is getting more response from the customer, so that I can, in next time, I can get more of those kind of banners. Let's say I have A and B, we call it A/B test, split test. So A and B. If A did much better than B, then I know that in next campaign, I should put more budget for A, or I should get more creatives which are similar to A and not to B, right? Now, now let's try to understand how the business objectives can be mimicked, or how these objectives are similar to digital objectives. Let's say as a business you want awareness, or as a business you want consideration. What is consideration? Consideration is basically a business has awareness, meaning people know about the business or the product, but they don't buy, they don't consider that particular brand or a company while buying the product. For example, a furniture shop, right? Uh, uh, a local furniture shop in Bangsar, and IKEA. Sorry, requesting. Should I? I'm not sure. I'm new to WebEx. Should I just approve it?
Decline it.
Oh, decline. Okay, cool. So, by the way, if you guys have some questions, you can take notes, and we can address it later. So, yeah, example, right? So let's say there is a very famous furniture shop in Bangsar, and then we have IKEA Damansara, or we have IKEA Cheres. Now, both sells furniture, but and people know about both these furniture shops, right? But while deciding to buy furniture, people don't go to IKEA. Why is it that people don't go to IKEA? There could be n number of factors, right? So what we are trying to say is IKEA has awareness, but IKEA has less consideration. It could be reverse also. People know about the famous Bangsar furniture shop, but people always go to IKEA. So that Bangsar furniture shop has a very good awareness, but it has a very low consideration, right? And if there is a low consideration, there is a very low chance of converting a user. You know what I mean? So you need to make sure there's a high awareness, high consideration, high conversion, high advocacy. Advocacy is someone, advocacy also is basically loyalty. When basically someone comes and becomes a repeat purchaser, repeat buyer of your product, at the same time advocates or gets you more referrals, advocates your brand or a product. So let's say as a business, you want to increase consideration. So what are the ad objectives or campaign objectives that are available online? So you can run a digital campaign with an objective of driving traffic, meaning clicks on the website, or you can run a digital campaign with an objective of engagement. So when you run an objective of engagement objective, these are this green color ones are all digital objectives available in Facebook, available in Google. So when, let's say you run a campaign on Facebook with an engagement objective, Facebook will try to show your ads to people who are more likely to engage, who are more likely to see the full ad, full video, or to spend some time on the banner ad, like it, share it, comment it. So engagement increases so that they are consuming the content. Traffic objective, Facebook will try to drive or show ads to people who are more likely to click, who are more likely to, who are more interested, and will definitely click on an ad. So that's all what Facebook and Google can decide based on their algorithm, based on all the data they have collected from users, right? Same with conversion. So let's say conversion, the objective could be app install. Objective could be conversion, meaning buying, booking, purchase. Even offline store visit is also now possible to track and promote, right? So some businesses are like online to offline, meaning you can see, like for example, cars, right? You see a lot of ads about Toyota and Honda, but to buy that or to get the delivery, of course, you have to go into the store. To get a test drive, you have to walk into the store, right? So all of that is possible. Moving on, as I said, I think we have covered this this particular slide in the previous section. Here, basically, my intention is to explain how we define demographic or behavior, or how we segment the audience, right? So as I say, if someone has a particular device, let's say, I want to target people who got money with them because I want to sell perfume. And I know perfume, the average selling price of a perfume on Zalora is 300 ringgit versus a pant or a shirt or a t-shirt, which is, let's say, 80 ringgit or 90 ringgit. So perfume is 4 times more expensive than a shirt or a pant. So I need to target someone who has a higher buying power, who has a higher purchasing power, right? Now, what are the ways to determine that? There are various factors or various ways. Let's say I target people who have latest iPhone 11, latest iPhone, which is iPhone 11, or Samsung Galaxy S20, S10, because all of that information is sitting with Facebook. I can go into my Facebook ad campaign manager, and I can select people not by their name but by the device. All of those who are using S10, who are using Facebook using S10 or Galaxy S20 or iPhone 11. because that gives me an indication that this particular person has a higher buying power because he is using an expensive product, right? Now, this is just an example. This doesn't necessarily mean this is how it should be done. Or, for example, life events, right? Let's say I'm a travel company. I want to sell honeymoon packages, right? So how can I target right audience? So if someone has fallen into relationship, usually people will update, oh, relationship or got engaged to this person. All of those kind of events are available in Facebook. So I can target that. If I know that someone's anniversary is coming up, because you have given your all of that information in Facebook. You have also given your birth date. So if I know that your birthday is coming up, so I can show you the ads which are relevant to events. Or let's say if I'm an event planning company or if I'm a restaurant, right? So I can show you ads just 5-10 days or 1 month before your birthday and show you a creative which says, hey, celebrate your birthday here in a banquet hall. Celebrate the birthday here in a restaurant, which can accommodate 30 people, 50 people, 100 people or whatever, right? So what I'm trying to say is we go deep dive into each segment, each type of audience segment to understand who to target or who to exclude. As we were saying, with traditional marketing or with TV or newspaper, let's say it's a girl's product, makeup or beauty or some girl related product. It's very irrelevant for it to be advertised to a to a male, right? But I can't exclude. But here in Facebook or with Google, I have an option to exclude male or a female uh, from an ad or from a campaign which is targeting, a particular gender related, let's say shaving, grooming related ad. There's no need for girls to see that if it's a men's grooming related ad. You know what I mean? So I can save a lot of money and I can get better engagement, better traffic, high quality stuff, and better returns on investment. So this is basically a slide which want to emphasize that this is all possible, and this is something is basically the power or the USP, unique selling point, or the pros of digital marketing. And this is, by the way, very fun. This is key. This is key for every digital marketer. Better you go with your audience targeting, audience definition, better the chances of your, better the results would be. I wouldn't cover this in much details, but I'll give you, maybe I'll explain this quickly using an example. Now, when this is part of strategy, actually, when you go and join some company and you become a digital marketer, you need to define these you need to have these frameworks and define these kind of charts. Now, it starts with an online population. Now, let's say you have a new product you want to advertise, you want to market, right? First, decide what is the online population of the country. Let's say you are targeting entire Malaysia. So what is the online population of the country? So the online population, what is online population? The actual population of Malaysia is somewhere around 32 million. I'm not very sure of the exact number, but I guess it's roughly 32 million, right? Now, how do we define online population? Out of 32 million, how many of those are connected to internet? How many of those use Google, Facebook? How many of them use internet? So that becomes your online population. So roughly, by the way, anyone knows what's the online population of Malaysia? So most of you would know or have an idea of the population of Malaysia, which is, I guess, 32 million. Do you know what is the online population? How many people use internet or have Facebook or Google? It's roughly, I understand it's not very interactive over voice call or a video call, but never mind. It's basically 24 million. 24 million people, or 23 million, sorry, 23.5 million people, or I should put this way, devices actually, unique devices are connected to internet, unique. So let's say if you have tablet, you also have phone, you have desktop, those are not counted as three, those are only counted as one because it only belongs to one person, right? So there are total 23 million unique devices which are connected to internet. Then we decide a broad target audience. So out of this bigger pool, this is your 23 million, the bigger circle, right? Then what is the broad target audience? Let's say I'm trying to target a girls related product, right? So, okay, girls, boys, we have taken enough example. Let's say parents related, a product which will be brought purchased by parents. So then I decide age range of 24 to 54 and 25 to 54, and a condition that they are parents, right? In Facebook and Google, you can determine whether they are parents or not. There are a lot of indications. So then the 24 million becomes smaller. Let's say it becomes 16 million or 15 million. So there are 15 million parents in Malaysia. This is my broad target audience. I'm still not showing ads to this group. I'm still not showing ads to this group. This is just a way to layer down your audience. Then comes segmented audience, which is basically people who have interest in the business or the product you are selling. So basically, all the parents in the age range of 18 to 54, which is 15 million, plus they have interest in my product or the industry. Let's say I'm selling diapers, baby diapers, and I'm selling milk products for the kids. You know, all your Pediasures and your Nankid, Nestle Nankid, and those kind of products. So that becomes roughly 8 million. So it's basically, coming down, down, down. The bigger circle becomes smaller. Then it becomes even smaller. And then it comes to the core target audience. So basically online population, then the parents, and then parents who are interested in certain kinds of products, and then it goes even one layer down. Let's say 8 million is segmented audience. So out of this, people who have credit card or people who do online shopping. Because look, you can be a parent, you can be buying a kid's product, but if you're not buying it offline, or if you're not buying it online, you're not my customer. You will never be my customer, right? Or I have to do a lot of brand awareness or persuasion, or you have to change your behavior. So I put more filters that existing people who are existingly transacting online. So then my audience becomes, let's say, 4 million or let's say 3 million, right? So all the way from 32 million, I go to 24 million, then I go to 16, then I go to 8, and then I finally end up with 3 million. So now I know that 3 million is the people I need to advertise to. 3 million is the people I need to have enough budget to serve ads to 3 million people. But if I don't do this exercise, I wouldn't know how much budget I need. I hope you guys understand that this is important to determine the budget related information, and also to sound strategic. You know what I mean? Let's say you join a company, digital marketing department, and you report to a CMO, hypothetically saying, right? Or you report to head of digital, and if you just come and say, and you will be thrown these kind of challenges, right? That, hey, Raya promotion, how much budget do you need? So you need to give some estimations, but then you also need to prove that your estimations are based on some findings, some insights, some research. So this is the kind of research, or this is the kind of layering you would need to do. Now, where will you get all this information? 24 million, 18 million, 16 million, all of this information is sitting in the Facebook and the Google platform. So once you get access to the ad platform, it's very easy to kind of, get used to it after, one simple training. So yeah, this is again fundamental and very, very important step. Now, this is interesting. Now, we were talking about channels, right? Now, how do you pick a channel? How do you decide which channel you want to advertise on? Imagine the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, or a head of digital throws a challenge and says that, hey, hey, here's what we want to promote for Raya. You do your audience segmentation, and you say, okay, I will need 1 million ringgit. He says, okay, I give you 1 million ringgit. Now tell me, where will you spend this 1 million ringgit? So now you need to come up with channel distribution. Now you need to basically distribute this budget into various channels, right? How will you decide that? So this is a kind of a framework or a chart which basically helps you decide that. So here in the columns, you see the objective: awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty, advocacy. Here in the rows, you see the name of the channel: search, display, social, video. And then the dark green is the primary channel. the gray color area is the secondary channel. So now I need to see, let's say if my objective is conversion, then here in this column, where is dark green? Dark green is, okay, at search. Display doesn't have dark green, social doesn't have dark green, video doesn't have dark green. Okay, retargeting has dark green, display targeting or search remarketing, right? So I will accordingly choose the channels. I will give higher budget to all the green channels here, right? Let's say if my objective is awareness, right? So I will go with the channels which are dark green in this column, which is basically your display, social, video, right? So that this justifies or this guides me on which channel should get higher budget and which channel should get slightly lower budget. Now this is again step, I would say. There are further steps into this, but I think for a starter, for a fresh grad, for a new joiner, this is important to understand, right? Now, I think we have gone through quite a lot of information, starting with, of course, a quick introduction of Zalora. Then we have gone through introduction of digital and how important the data is, and based on data, how powerful Google and Facebook these companies are, and that is how they basically make digital marketing more effective. It's all backed up by the data, right? Then what is the strategy, workflow, business objective versus marketing objective, how to develop your audience segmentation, which is the key, the most important factor here, and what channels we should use and definitions of channels and whatnot. So we'll take a very quick short break. We'll be back in maybe a minute time. So please feel free to digest this a bit. I'll leave this particular slide open here, and if you wish to take a break, please go ahead and please be back in 1 minute. Otherwise, you can continue to be in front of your screen. I'll see you in a minute. We are also taking this break to ensure that you guys don't fall asleep, okay? So please get up and freshen up yourselves, please.
So I do have at least one question in the meantime, Mr. Tejas. So basically that, social media is actually tracking us, I mean like tracking our phone, the device, in order to at least like profiling their customers. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning about Facebook just now, because if I'm not mistaken, there is one option in Facebook whereby that you can manage your activity. So let's say that if I check this off, this option off for this manage activity, so meaning to say that the seller or the marketer could not trace what actually that my personas is it?
Exactly. Yes. So it limits the kind of data that you share with Facebook, but some very basic information is still available. So, for example, your location information, right? Because you have the app installed in your phone, and your phone also has a GPS, and you are traveling or you are moving, you can't control that. That's something very basic. Your basic information like your gender, your age, these kind of informations cannot. But what you can limit is the activity, meaning what you do on Facebook, what kind of content you like, what videos, what brands, what products, what artists, what celebrity, where you check in. So activity that you do on Facebook can be limited, and that actually kind of cuts a lot of data that you would share with Facebook. Yeah, but the basic information is still available.
Okay. So just one quick question. Does that I mean like fall under the what we call it data privacy, invasion of data privacy?
I mean, your question is whether it's a privacy violation or something, is it?
Yeah, something more or less.
Yeah, I don't think so, because look, you also have an option to disable the location setting, right? So by default, when you limit with the Facebook option of limiting your activity, your location service doesn't go. But in your mobile, you have a separate option to disable the location. So in a way, the control is still in your hands. But the fact is, most users don't know where to go and select or unselect this, or where to go and change these settings, number one. Number two, is it's not a violation because it's not really identifying the person as a, let's say it can't identify you as you, with your name or with where do you live kind of a thing. It's still very segmented. It's part of a group, and it's how do I say? Yeah, I would say basically with privacy, the policy is PII. We call it PII, personally identifiable information. Those things are not violated. Are actually never violated. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. I think we should start now, right?
Yep. You can. We proceed with the
Okay.
presentation.
Cool. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, we are seeing your screen right now.
It's on. Okay. Cool. So yeah, moving forward. Again, as I said, we'll take 3 more breaks. The idea of taking this break is so that you get refreshed and you don't feel overwhelmed with the information and don't fall asleep or something like that. So please please be active during the session. And as the host was sharing a while ago, that you never know, one of you guys, a lot of you guys actually will be leaders in the industry, right? Some of you guys would be working with Zalora, some of you guys would be working with, I don't know, Maxis and Petronas and a lot of these different big companies, Hongleongs and CIMBs and Maybanks, and all of these companies are going very aggressive, very fast about the development of the digital marketing department within the organization. Traditionally, none of these companies had digital marketing department. I mean, if you look 5 years, 10 years back, I think if you see in the recent times, they have started the extension of the IT department becomes a digital marketing, or some companies will have a standalone digital marketing department. Companies like Zalora, who are e-commerce born companies, e-commerce based businesses, for us, digital marketing is a must, right? So yeah, please take interest in this. Just to share again, just to restart this session, I would like to share my experience when I was growing up, or when I was basically coming out of the college. We never really had, because digital was very new, we never really had a chance of speaking to someone, or never had a chance to interact with a company and understand how they operate, or hearing from them how digital marketing should be done. Now, of course, you guys are much more smarter comparatively, because you guys have more reach, or you guys have more convenience in terms of understanding internet and whatnot. Back then it wasn't the case, but at the same time I realized that I got a lot of the information after joining the company, after joining or after working for 1.5 years. These days, guys who are active in the last year of the college, or in the first 2-3 months after the college, they get similar amount of knowledge which we guys gathered in 1.5 years. So please be active, and this will definitely help you cracking interviews whenever you go for digital marketing interviews and all. You speak about these basics, you speak about these fundamentals, you will sound much more relevant compared to those fresh grads who don't have idea about these. At the end of the session, I'll also share some resources with you, so that you can also do your self-study, and it's all video-based content, so it's all interactive. It's all very easy to consume, easy to digest kind of content. Anyway, so moving ahead, so we left it here, where we understood that how important and how fundamental, how significant this particular exercise could be. This is very important in crafting the strategy, digital strategy, then channel selections and stuff. Now moving on to ad formats. Now I'm sure you guys, from a user's point of view, must have seen these ads, right? Now understand from a marketer's point of view that what these ads are good for, right? So as a business, as we say that marketing funnel is about awareness, consideration, purchase, and loyalty or advocacy, right? So what kind of an ad format helps you get to this objective? So if your objective is consideration, purchase, or loyalty, then you can go with a single image, single link ad, meaning a normal banner ad. Here I've taken Facebook as an example. Normal banner ad, you click on it and you land on a website. The right hand side is a video, is a Facebook video, right? This basically helps you with the awareness and the consideration. As we understood in the previous slides, how each channel is contributes towards business objective. Same ways within channel, there are ad formats also which you need to be very careful while selecting to drive a particular business objective, right? So video is good for awareness and consideration. Video will historically, this is not the rule of thumb, but in most cases, video wouldn't do very well if you want to drive conversions, if you want to drive sales. But if you want to drive brand perception, brand awareness, product awareness, video would do perfect, right? Same way, we have carousel ads. What are carousel ads? Carousel ads are like these slides. If you have noticed this on Facebook, there'll be these sliders or the cards you can kind of, move, slide. And when you click on it, you can also go and land on the website. So here, I think we are taking Air France as an example. On the right hand side, you see collection ad, which is very much shopping driven ad, right? So here we are taking Adidas example, where someone sees the content of the ad, and then below the content, there's a list of all the products or the assortments, right? And when you click on it, you land on the specific product page from where you can add to cart and then check out, right? So this helps for purchase and conversion. This is exactly opposite of your video, right? So let's say if you want to drive, the CMO or a head of digital gives you a challenge of driving conversions. You have done your audience segmentation, you have decided your budget, you have decided your channels. Now within channels, you know that you wouldn't go with video, you would go with this because your objective is to drive conversion. However, if your objective is to drive awareness, then probably you'll go with this. Or if your objective is to drive both, then you'll need to have a split, right? Same way, carousel helps you with this. This is general guidance, by the way. Of course, you need to, as I say, you need to be very analytical about this. Once you start your campaign, you need to observe, you need to analyze, you need to synthesize what's working, what's not working, what to scale up, what not to scale up. Looking at Google search formats, as I said, this is very obvious that here you see, I'm taking Zalora as an example. This is the advertiser URL. This is the headline. This particular one is the headline. And these are the extensions. We call them site links. Site links, right? And this is very good, as we were discussing earlier, pull marketing. Higher conversion rate, higher click-through rate, meaning higher traffic, quality traffic, and good for conversion. So this is very good for consideration or a conversion objective in the business. Display, Google display banners, right? Here we are taking another example. Let's say Uniqlo. Here we are taking example of Cadbury Dairy Milk. These are all your banner ads. The one which you see on your news websites or while browsing content, right? On the right hand side of the page, you will see these banners, right? So this is display banner. YouTube ads, I'm sure you guys must be aware of this. You guys must have been seeing it. So this is a very good example of in-stream ad, right? So this is good for awareness, consideration, and purchase. Video usually don't do very good with conversion. That's what we kind of noticed and learned over over a period of time. So as the host was suggesting you guys earlier, that if you want to run any Raya campaign, if you have some small business for your parents or you want to support your family by doing digital campaign, then please be mindful of that. Don't experiment too much. You can go with the best practices when you have very limited budget, right? Then we have Lightbox ad. This is a very creative format. So in the beginning, it looks like a banner, but when you hover there, when you go and touch that, it suddenly expands into a video. And then the video appears, and then it also gives you an option to click onto it and land on the website. So it's like a normal banner plus a video together. Then you have Gmail sponsored ads. This is also very interesting. So this is basically, this mimics your newsletter, your email newsletter, which you get from the brand. But let's say if you are a new business and you don't have email addresses of your customers, so what you can do is you can run a Google ad and decide and choose the placement as Gmail. So within Gmail, the ad would look like this. So these are all your emails. Let's say these are all your emails. On the top of the email, you will see this. Once you click on this, it opens like a email newsletter, right? And by the way, here you can target by keyword. Let's say if you are selling, let's say travel tickets or travel bookings related business is what you have. So anyone whose email has words like travel, booking, trips, or anything similar to that, vacation, or someone applied for a vacation or a annual leaves. So you know that this is the relevant kind of person to show these kind of ads. But again, these are push marketing ads, meaning your conversion rate will be lower, but also your cost is much lower. And this is still very relevant and targeted ad compared to a traditional ad. Then you have universal app install campaign, which is basically an ad to promote the app installs, because once the user has an app in the mobile, then it's very easy to milk. It's very easy to get repurchase or convert the user or convince the user for buying a product. You know what I mean? Because once you have an app, I can even send them push notification in the mobile, right? So installing an app or getting the app installed is also very, very important. And this usually helps with consideration and the purchase. Now, this is interesting. I'm sure some of you guys who are kind of, hands-on or have tried this for your own small business or whatever to support your family, you would know that what remarketing is. But here, I think it's important to go understand remarketing by definition so that everyone in the call understands. And I'm sure as a user, you must have experienced this as well. So what is remarketing? Remarketing is basically chasing a user who hasn't purchased or who has purchased in past, but you want to chase them so that they purchase more. And how does it work? Let's say you are a user, you come on a Zalora website, but and of course you are being tracked, and we can leave a cookie in the browser. So it's a technical process where every browser has a cookie, which is basically an identifier that, okay, this particular device has visited Zalora.com, and that cookie expires after 30 days or certain period of time, right? And while leaving Zalora.com, leaving the website or leaving the app, you did not purchase. I know that someone entered my store, someone showed interest in my products, but he did not purchase. So I can show you the ads again. You must have experienced this as a user. You go on a website, you look at a product, you don't buy it, and then when you browse something on internet, your Facebook, Google, Instagram, or you are reading something, you keep seeing the same product ad. Have you experienced that? I see some nods. So that's remarketing basically, right? And with remarketing, your cost is much lower and the chances of conversion is much higher. Of course, there has to be multiple filters in remarketing. It cannot be just like someone came on my website and I keep chasing them. It doesn't work that way. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. There has to be some filters. There has to be some frequency cap, meaning how many times you want to show the ad. You also don't want to annoy the user, right? But basically the idea, the funda is that someone comes on my website, someone doesn't buy, but I can track him. So I just show him the ads to drive his interest or to remind him that, hey, you came on my website, you browsed. And in most cases, and there are various strategies for remarketing. In most cases, you would show them or throw them a better offer. When someone leaves the website, you will reach out to them with an ad and show them a voucher code. let's say 20% off or 15% off, so that you can encourage them to convert, you can encourage them to buy, right? So yeah, that's what more or less remarketing is. Now let's understand different types of remarketing. So one is, the obvious one is website visitor, meaning your website visitor or a mobile app user who has purchased or who hasn't purchased, right? If someone has purchased and if you want him to purchase again, or if you want him to purchase something similar, for example, let's say someone purchased shoes. Okay, someone on Zalora purchased, let's say, uh, t-shirts or party t-shirts, right? Or let's say sports t-shirt. So I know if someone has purchased sports t-shirt, sneakers or a running shoe would be a very good combo with that. So I can remarket to upsell. I can remarket to cross-sell, right? Then I can also remarket to someone who came on Zalora but did not buy. That's the basic, the basic way of doing remarketing, right? So that's website visitor or app visitor. Then page engagement. Let's say someone did not come on your website, but someone came on your Facebook page or an Instagram page, and someone engaged with your content, with your post on Facebook or Instagram. Someone engaged, meaning someone liked it, reshared it, commented on it. You can create a list out of that. All of this is possible. It's all, once you go inside the Facebook campaign manager, it's very easy to kind of, do that. That's part of hands-on training, which happens usually. I mean, let's say if you join as an intern in some companies, or let's say if you come and join as intern in Zalora, that all will be done, and you'll learn all of those hands-on kind of a thing. So anyway, so here we are trying to understand what is possible from a strategical point of view. So page engagement. You can make a list of people who have engaged with your content, right? Or all your fans or friends of your fans. So let's say I like Adidas, but my friend doesn't like Adidas page, right? But just because he's a friend of mine on Facebook, Facebook can identify that, hey, these two guys are friends. They are always hanging around together. Their devices are always in the same location. So if he likes Adidas, most likely the friend also will like Adidas. So let me show him Adidas ads. So Adidas guys can decide that, or Zalora guys can decide that hey, let me show him the Zalora ad, because all of his friends are doing it. So most likely you're gonna do it. So anyways, video viewers. Let's say you have YouTube ads or Facebook ads, and someone view 25% of video, 50% of video. You can track all of that, whether someone finished the video or someone just skipped the video after 50%, or someone closed the video after 50% or 25%. So you can decide that, let's say if someone has watched 75% of the video, he is well aware of what product or what I'm trying to sell. So let me remarket him. Let me show my ad again. Maybe this time around, last time he saw the video ad, this time around, let me show him a normal banner ad so that he can click and come on the website. Then the customer list. Let's say if you have a list of your customer, meaning the email IDs of your customers, if you have the phone numbers of your customer, even with the phone numbers of your customer, you can upload this data into Facebook, Google, and Facebook and Google will try to match it. Again, as I said in the beginning of the session, that how Facebook and Google collects the data is very significant in deciding, or it's very significant factor in success of a digital campaign, right? Now, because you as a user have given your email IDs, or you as a user have given your phone numbers to Google and Facebook while signing up for the account, we can use that to target you. Let's say you are already a customer of Zalora, and I have your phone number, because while placing an order, you have to put your phone number, right? Now I use that phone number to put it in Facebook, so that Facebook can, and Facebook also has your phone number, so that matching happens. Zalora puts number in Facebook, and Facebook already has your number, so they will understand, okay, it's you. Let's say for example, let's say Khalid, or let's say for example, Siti Salmi. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Host?
Yes, correctly. Correct.
Yeah, okay. Right. So Once the identification of the match happens, then you will see the ad, because I want you to see the ad because I uploaded your number, and Facebook can also identify you because you use the number while signing up the account. You understand how these things are connected? So, but then that's a very irrelevant way of doing, very relevant and a very effective way of doing marketing. Why? Because with this customer growth, I can expect much higher conversion rate. What is conversion rate? Conversion rate is basically if 100 people see my ad, 2 people convert, so 2% is the conversion rate. 100 people see my ad or click on my ad, 5 people convert, so my conversion rate is 5%, right? So with these kind of customer list, my conversion rate will be higher because I know they are my existing customers. Again, now, what are the different types of remarketing audiences or tracking codes required to do remarketing? You need a Google Analytics tracking code or any equivalent. I mean, most websites will use Google Analytics to track the traffic on the website. So you need that code on the website. You need the Facebook pixel because remarketing will be done through Facebook channel or Instagram channel. Now, Instagram and Facebook belongs to Facebook. It's the same company, right? So you need a pixel, Facebook pixel. Pixel is basically a tracker. Pixel is a tracker, a piece of code which is a tracker. So you need a Google tracking code, you need a Facebook tracking code, and you need a Google AdWords tracking code. So all of these 3 codes has to be placed on your website. Let me just show you an example. When I open a website, this is what I see. If you go to inspect, if you right click and you inspect, or let me make it even simpler. Right click and go to view page source. Another tab opens and it will show you the code. This is all techie stuff. You need not, it's fine if you don't understand it. But what I'm trying to say is here is where the codes are placed. The Facebook tracking pixel, Google tracking pixel, somewhere here is where it is placed. So every time someone comes and opens Zalora.com.my, those codes also fire, and that's how the tracking will happen. It's all technical stuff, but I think it's important to understand for marketers as well. So yeah, in that page source code which I showed, that is where you need these kind of things. How remarketing could impact Zalora, or for that instance any brand. Top of audience, right? So if someone, as I said, someone comes to your, imagine an offline store, right? You have an offline store, someone comes in your store but doesn't buy, but you want to make sure that, you want to kind of, reach out to those audience, to those customers. So that's a drop of audience. Similar on a website, not everyone who comes on a website converts, right? So all those who drop off without converting, you can kind of, milk those customers as well. Repeat visit. To retarget visitors 3 months after their purchase to potentially gain repeat order. Let's say if someone has purchased 3 months before. Now I know that, okay, last time he purchased 3 months before. Now again, this is the right time for him to, buy something new. Now depends again on the company, depend on the product you are selling. If it's a $5-10 ringgit product, you can retarget them almost every month. Depends on the usability of the product, right? Clothes probably will last easy 3, 6, 7 months, 1 year before you buy a new one. Tickets, probably air tickets or hotel bookings, that usually you wouldn't go on a vacation every month, right? But again, then there are certain products like, for example, lipsticks or grooming related products, you would target on a regular basis, right? Like every 15 days, 1 month, 2 months. So it depends there. Then you can also target high relevance. You can have a high relevance target. Basically, as I said, someone who buys sneakers or gym related stuff, you can target them sports category as well, because you know that these are all targeted, relevant, right? You can also use upsell and cross sell. I think these are very relevant. Let me also give another example, which is not listed here. A high average basket size user, or in general layman terms, we call them VIP customers. So let's say everyone who buys on your website, on an average, they spend 200 ringgit. But then there are certain people who on an average spend 500 ringgit, meaning every time they buy, their value, order value is 500. So you know that, oh, they are some maybe rich fellas, or maybe they got more money in general, or they are heavy shoppers, right? So you can target them more frequently for higher returns on investment. At the same time, you know that they are more likely to buy. So basically, you need to look at the data, your internal data. All this while we are talking about Google, Facebook data and how to make use of it. Now we are talking about your internal data, right? Understand what your customers' purchase behavior is, what they are buying, how frequently they are buying, why they are buying, and accordingly you can adjust and remarket. Okay, we'll move on to the next segment. I also am kind of mindful of the time here. I guess we only have time until 5 o'clock. So now I'll kind of rush a bit. This is interesting. If as we were discussing a while ago, that if you want to run campaigns for yourself or for your family business or whatever, or just to try out something, this is what the campaign structure looks like, or ad account structure looks like. First, you have a campaign. At the campaign, you can select the objective, you can select the budget. Here is where you control the budget and the pacing type. Pacing type means how much you want to spend per day or per week and stuff. For example, you may have 10,000 ringgit for 1 month. So 10,000 divided by 30 is, I guess, 300, right? Yeah, 300. So I may not spend 300 evenly on it on every day or each day. I may actually go 500 per day for certain weeks, and then certain days or certain weeks I can go for 100 per day. Why? Because I know that, oh, there is a payday coming when people get their salary, so that is the right time. So I can go and run heavy budget campaigns. Or I know that, oh, Raya is falling in the 3rd week, so I should use maximum budget before that, right? So all of that pacing type you can control here. Then within a campaign you have an ad set. Within a campaign you have an ad set. At ad set level you control the duration of the ad, how long you want the ad to run, 20 days, 10 days, 5 days. Again, then for this is the master budget. Then out of this master budget, there are 2 ad sets. So this ad set should receive how much budget? This ad set should receive how much budget? So that is controlled here. Audience targeting. All the audience targeting we have been talking about, remarketing or using Facebook data to target, let's say, based on life events, birthdays, anniversaries, credit card usage, whatever, n number of possibilities, right? All of that is defined here at ad set level. So all targeting is here. Placement, bid price, bid type, all of that is considered here. What is placement? So in Facebook, you can see ads in Facebook stories, Instagram stories. Instagram and Facebook are same company. So you can add to one ad manager. You want to show ads on Instagram story. You want to show ads in Instagram feed when someone is scrolling, right? Scrolling. Same, Facebook scrolling, the news feed. That is where you want to show ad, or you want to show ad in the messenger, or you want to show ad in the Facebook story. So all of that is called placement. Depends on where you want to show ad and where historically your ad or product has performed better. What is the bid or the price that you want to pay for each click? You can even decide that. And then within each ad set, you have creatives, which is your banner, your carousel, or your video, all of that which we saw in the previous slide. So all of that falls here, right? And at ad level, you control landing URL, meaning once someone clicks on the ad, which particular page on my website they should land on. What is the pixel? And as I said, all the kinds of ad formats, video, GIF, slideshow, carousel, all of that is basically controlled here. So you have campaigns, then you have ad sets, and then you have ads. So this is the structure. This is the skeleton of Facebook and Instagram ad account. I will move on to Google one. This is very similar to what we saw for Facebook and Instagram. Here also we have primarily 3 layers. There is also a subset to 3rd one. So it starts with a campaign. That campaign you decide budget. location, which location you want to, you want to target. Let's say you want to target entire Malaysia, but you want to exclude East Malaysia. Why? Because you can't deliver there. Or let's say you want to target whole of Malaysia, but not Langkawi or Ipoh. Why? Because they are too far from your warehouse, and the cost to ship there would be expensive. So you need to connect all the business related, operations related dots as well, right? And so basically you decide location, which location to include or exclude. Device bid, you can bid separately for mobile device, you can bid separately for desktop device, meaning you can have a higher bid if someone is searching on mobile, if someone is searching a keyword on mobile and you want to show ad on mobile, and you can bid lower on desktop, or vice versa, or you can have same bid across. Ad rotation, ad schedule means, let's say you are Food Panda, right? Or you are Grab. Let's say Food Panda, okay? And someone searches the keyword order food online. So Food Panda's ad comes up in Google, right? Now, you don't want that ad to be shown after 12 midnight, because you know after 12 midnight, no riders are working, Food Panda is not going to deliver, right? So you can have all of those settings here, ad schedule related settings here. All the extensions, I think in the Zalora example here, let me show you again. I showed you here, right? That these were the site links. These were the site links. This is site link. This is the main link, main headline and main landing URL. But then these are the site links, which goes to a specific product page or the category page, right? So all of that is yeah, that's your landing URL. And the extensions. Yeah, extensions are also controlled here. Extensions can also be controlled at the ad group level. So after campaign, your layer 2 is ad group. So one thing to notice here is, in Facebook, the majority of the control is sitting at the ad set level. Majority of the control. You see these controls here? In Google, majority of the control is sitting at the campaign level. So how you distribute or how you define your campaign or ad set in Facebook and Google, it's very different. The principles are same, but the controls are different at different levels. At the same time, you need to give thoughts. So for example, if you want to run Johor Bahru campaign, a campaign which targets Johor Bahru, then you need to have a separate campaign for Johor Bahru. You can't have Kuala Lumpur and Johor Bahru in the same campaign, because you won't be able to target them separately. Here, you can have Johor Bahru and Kuala Lumpur as two separate assets and one single campaign. So here one single campaign, here two separate campaigns.
Macam ni lah.
Okay, I guess that's feedback for me. I'll go slowly. Okay, and then we have ad group. Ad group again controls extension and the bid price. And within the ad group, we have keywords and the landing URL. Keywords, as I said, we decide or we instruct Google that, hey, what are the keywords I want my ads to show, right? And you can also, there's a tool which Google provides. You can search for Google Trends, or you can search for Google Keyword Planner. And that will, later I'll also share you the link that will also lead you there. You can search and you can research that how many times in a month people are searching for credit cards, how many times people are searching for buy shoes online, or whatever product you are selling. Let's say you are selling lipstick. How many times people are searching for buy lipsticks online? Let's say if there are people, 10,000 times people searching for it in a month, so you would know that, okay, maybe this is a keyword I need to bid on, because I sell lipsticks. I want to buy ads for this keyword. So yeah, you can do research and you can put it here. And yeah, your landing URL and your ad copy also set within the ad group. So yeah, mainly three categorizations here: campaign, ad group, keyword, and landing URL. Within this, you'll also have your ad copy. Now, what are the common bid types? Now, we talked about bid a lot of in the recent slides, right? So bid is basically an amount that you are willing to pay for each click or each action, right? So cost per click is a bid type. Let's say I'm willing to pay 1.2 ringgit, 1 ringgit 20 cents for each click on my website, right? So I can define that. Cost per acquisition. I can also bid based on cost per acquisition, meaning what is the cost I can pay for each conversion. Because not all clicks are going to convert into conversion. Not that. I mean, take yourself as an example. You as a user, every time you go and visit Zalora or let's say any other e-commerce platform, you are not going to convert. You don't always necessarily buy stuff. You sometimes go to just browse, just to understand the product and stuff. So maybe if I keep on paying by click, I might not get conversion. So sometimes you may also choose to pay for conversion. That hey, so you basically tell Google or Facebook that hey, I don't care how many clicks or traffic you get on my website. If I don't get a conversion, I'm not gonna pay, right? Then you also pay per impression, 1,000 impressions. This is very common in display, meaning a ad on a blog. Even it's common in Facebook and Instagram, meaning 1,000 times your ad is shown, just shown, like impression. Doesn't matter whether it receive click or doesn't receive click. So yeah, cost per 1,000 impressions. Same ways, cost per acquisition, cost per click. Yeah, so these are the common, I think it's same here as CPM, CPA. So these are the common ways you can bid and you can pay for your ad. So basically, this is all performance driven, if you notice. Compared to your traditional buy, whether someone sees your ad in a newspaper or doesn't, whether someone walks into your store after seeing the ad in newspaper or doesn't. At first place, you can't even track, and even somehow, let's say you can track, you don't control how you pay for it. But here, you can pay for a particular action. It could be traffic, it could be conversion, booking, and stuff. Right? Now, let's take a very interesting example here of how does Google decide who should get a rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. Now, let's take this example here, buy shoes online. I search for buy shoes online. I see easybuy.my. I see zalora.my, 2 ads, right? Both of us are paying to Google, but how does Google decide who should rank first, who should rank second? Then you also have in the ad section here, Zaffle and Shoe Collection, right? So how does Google decide who gets number 1, number 2, or bottom of the page? So if Google was supposed to decide purely based on price, it would become unfair because then the bigger companies can pay higher, because companies with bigger budgets can pay higher amount for the bid and get higher position, higher rank. It doesn't work that way. Google is very careful about it because Google cares about quality results. Because if Google doesn't give you quality results, users will not use Google, right? They want to say relevant results, quality results. So Google basically decides on a formula. So let's take an example. Let's say there are 3 advertisers. There's Shippo, there's Dazala, and then there's Zalora, right? And all 3 wants to advertise for a term called or for a buy t-shirts online, this particular keyword, right? Shippo says that, okay, I will pay 5 ringgit for each click. Dazala says I will pay 4 ringgit for every click. And Zalora says we will pay 6 ringgit for every click, right? Now, quality score. Now there is a quality score. Now, what is quality score? Quality score is basically determined based on your click-through rate, meaning how good your ad is and how likely your ad is to receive a click. Then, what is the landing page experience? Meaning, once someone clicks on a page, is the page very clear to understand? Is it very easy to load on a mobile screen? Is it very easy to load on a desktop? Is it mobile friendly or not? Right? And what is the relevance, ad relevance, whether the ad and the landing page, whether both are connected or not. Meaning, I can, in my ad, I can say buy shoes offer or shoes promotion. But when someone clicks, it doesn't speak about shoes. It speaks about sandals. It's misleading, right? So Google basically ensures all of these things, that there is ads are relevant, landing page experience is good, and ads are likely to receive clicks. Based on that, it will give you some quality score. Quality score is always out of 10. And then based on the ad format as well, they will decide whether it's medium, high, or low. Let's say low gets 1, high gets 5, and medium gets 3. Now then, based on that, they come up with an ad rank. What is ad rank? Now you see this. 5 was the bid multiplied by 7. 7 was the quality score. So it becomes 35. 4 was the bid, quality score was 9, so it becomes 36. Ad rank is 36, 4 multiplied by 9. Then Zalora, 6 is the bid, 5 is the quality score, so ad rank becomes 30, right? Now, the one which has the highest ad rank will get position 1. The one which has lower than that will get position 2. And the one which has the lowest ad rank will get position 3, right? So here, if you notice, Zalora was paying the lowest amount. They were willing to pay the lowest amount, and still they got first position. Zalora was willing to pay higher. They were willing to pay much higher than Dazala and Shippo, like 1 ringgit and 2 ringgit higher, but still they got last position on Google search. And what is the actual CPC? So actual CPC is basically lower than your bid, because bid is your maximum limit. So Google will always charge you lower than your bid. And how it is being determined? It is basically determined this way. Your quality score, the person who's below you, so in this case 35 divided by your quality score. So 35 divided by 9 gives me 4.29. In this one, 35 divided by 9 gives me 3.89, sorry. Then 35, for this guy, what he pays, he will pay the ad rank of the one below him, which is 30 divided by his quality score. So it's like one position below divided by how good I am. The ad rank of one position below divided by my quality score, right? So he will pay based on 30 divided by 7, which is 4.29. And this formula is very interesting. This formula will always give you the CPC, actual CPC, cost per click, lower than your bid. So 4.29 is lower than 5, 3.89 is lower than 4, and 5.5 is lower than 6. Now, interesting to notice, I pay the highest, still I get the last position. This guy pays the lowest, and still he gets the first position. Why? Because the difference is quality score. And how does quality score is determined? It's determined based on the quality of your website, quality of the landing page, quality of the product page, how good your ad is, right? So it's not just about money. It's not just about throwing money, higher bids. It's not just about that. It's also about how good your ad and how good your website is. Now, let's say because I'm Zalora and I want to improve my ad rank. I want to improve my position. I need not necessarily bid higher, right? Because to get this 30 high, 30, if I want to change this 30 to 36 or 37 so that I get first position, I can also increase my bid. But then in that case, I'm using my budget. Instead of that, if I just improve my website, I can pay low. And even by paying low, I still get first position. Why? Just because I improve my website. So if I want to improve my rank, I will focus on my website and not necessarily on budget. So good marketeers, good digital marketeers will not just go on to spend money. More better ranking or more orders, more transaction doesn't mean that you have to spend more money. It also means that you have to focus on a quality score or a quality metric. So that's what Google focuses on. Similarly, we have for Facebook. For each person and ad, it will basically determine what is the advertiser bid, same as Google. Then estimated action rate, meaning what is the likelihood of getting a click. and what is the relevancy and the quality. Similar to what Google does is what Facebook also does to determine. So that even with Facebook, just because you are paying high doesn't mean you will always get maximum impressions, right? So yeah, that's Google and Facebook. This is not very important for someone who's not hands-on, but later when you get hands-on, I think this will be a good reference for you. Here, this is a kind of a matrix which shows that this is low effort, this is high effort area. This is low impact, this is high impact, right? So here we have a quadrant. So this quadrant says it's a high effort optimization, but it brings you low impact. This quadrant takes high effort and brings you high impact in terms of optimizing or getting more returns on investment, getting ROI. Because look, we do marketing, we do digital marketing to get returns on investment, better returns on investment, right? So what are the optimizations that you can do in your ad account? I understand this could be overwhelming, this could be not so relevant for you guys, but I just want to give you a glimpse of what are the triggers to push and pull. It's fine you don't learn if you don't remember this, and you are actually not supposed to remember this. Sometimes it's all what is important is to know what exists in the industry, right? So when we talk about Google and Facebook optimization, there are certain optimization that you can do. So for example, ad scheduling, you can do proper targeting, you can do right landing URLs, you can do user journey mapping, you can do structure revamp, right? You can do placement. As we were talking about, what is placement? If I want to show my ad on Facebook story or Insta story or Facebook newsfeed or Insta newsfeed, all those are placements. So I can pick and choose which placement my ad should appear. So I can pick and choose based on where it has performed historically well. So yeah, low effort but high impact. So I can know that, okay, which area or which activities I should do for which takes less effort and more impact. And one more myth as a marketer you should kind of get clear on is that usually we feel that, okay, let's say if you're running 5 different platforms, 5 different channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, display, search, email marketing, SMS marketing, affiliate marketing, then all of that has to happen together. It doesn't work that way. Let's say your campaign is a 8 weeks period campaign, right? So you have to figure out how to distribute this, right? So you can have first 4 weeks for your Facebook video, then you can, so that, you do the warm up, you do the awareness. So this is awareness related stuff, right? Then you do Google display and rich banner. Then this is consideration related activities. If you remember, there was a previous slide we were discussing about which channel to use for what objective, right? So consideration, Google search text ad. So I will have an always on, meaning from it starts in week 2, it is all, and these ads will be live until the end. Google search ads, again, will be live. GDN remarketing ad will be live in the last phase. Why? Because in the first phase, like first 4 weeks, you need to see that who are the guys who are engaging with my video, who are the guys engaging with my post, who are the guys coming on my website, who are the guys dropping off from my website. And accordingly, you can make the list. And in the last 4 weeks, you can do the remarketing, meaning reach out to them again and again and again, right? And as the duration passes by, the conversion becomes more and more. This represents the thickness of the conversion, meaning more conversions you get. And optimization also happens here. So for you to do the optimization, all these optimizations, you need to rely on your campaign performance data, how your campaign is performing, which creative is doing good. We were talking about this, right? Creative A versus creative B, campaign A versus campaign B, landing page versus A versus B, product A versus product B. So which product is doing good, which product is selling better, which creative or which banner is getting more clicks. So all of that you need to understand based on 2 weeks data and then constantly optimize accordingly. I would have liked to take a very short break, but I wouldn't because we only have 20 minutes with us and we have one section to go through. So I would continue with this. Is that okay, Suti, Salmi?
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
can proceed.
and this is the most important. Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is the most important part, guys, and my favorite as well. So look, with marketing, you have done, you have created campaigns, you're focused on what creatives, what products to push, what campaigns, what channels, what ad formats. You have consumed a lot of information, but digital marketing is strong. Digital marketing is important, or is impactful. Why? Because everything is trackable. We are not talking about the user trackability here. We are talking about the product performance and the product campaign tracking, right? The campaigns which you run, not the data which comes from Google and Facebook based on what data users give, but this is the data based on the campaigns that you ran, right? Because if I don't know this, I can't adjust. So analytics is like the eyes and ears of a business. Analytics is the eyes and ears of the business. If I don't have that, I'm just operating blindly, right? So to do this, I think same, I would like to repeat that we need the GPS trackers, the trackers on the website. Once you have the trackers like remarketing tags, conversion tags, website analytics tags, then it is possible to track. Now, what is analytics, or what does it tell you? So Google Analytics will tell you the performance of your website. What exactly? It will tell you 4 important things. Number 1, who are the visitors? Where did they come from? Because you did a lot of marketing, a lot of channels, a lot of platforms. So it's very important to understand which source, which platform gave you how many visitors. Then, what is the visitor's behavior? Once they come on your website, what do they do? Do they browse product? Do they use the search bar? Do they convert? Where is the blockage on your website? So visitors' behavior once they are on your website. And lastly, conversion, whether they converted, whether they purchased, and what did they purchase. So who came on my website? Not like person, but like how many people came on my website? Where did they come from? What did they do? And did they convert or not? So 4 things. This is what essentially any analytics will tell you. And this is what your objective also should be when you look into analytics, right? So this is one screenshot. This is not Zalora data. I took it from, I think I just randomly took it from internet. This is a screenshot of a Google Analytics, and this is how it would look like. By the way, Google Analytics is a free service. You can sign up for it, and if you have a blog or a website, you can install Google Analytics there, and you'll start getting free. You can basically explore the dashboard. It's all free. So here, source medium. So you see here, Facebook. Facebook delivered me 30,000 sessions. Session is basically visit, 30,000 visits. And here in conversion stat, you will see it delivered me 56 transactions, 56 orders, right? So Facebook, out of 30,000 people who came through Facebook, only 56 of them converted. Now GDN, the Google Display Network, the display ad, the banner ad on the news websites or on the blogs, right? They also give me roughly same amount of traffic, 31,000, but the conversion that I got from there is 17. So my conversion rate, if you see here, is 0.18%. Here is 0.05%. So Facebook has a higher conversion rate. So now next time, if I have to put more money, if I have to decide where should I put more money, then I know that I'll put more money in Facebook and not in GDN, not in display, because Facebook is performing much better. You get my point? It gives you same amount of traffic, 30,000 traffic here, 30,000 traffic through GDN, 30,000 traffic through Facebook, but Facebook in the 30,000 plus traffic gave you 56 conversions, triple of what GDN gave me. Now this is a very basic way of analyzing or reading the Google Analytics data. And this is the data about your own website, about your own marketing campaign, right? Now moving on, there are various reports in there. You can also, there is an audience report which will basically give you information on demographics, frequency, recency. I'll explain this. browsers, new versus returning, internet and device, interest and device, meaning people who came on your website were, how many of them were males? How many of them were female? What was the age range? Please do not confuse this with the previous demographic information. That is not your data. That is the data you get from Facebook and Google to understand or to do the market research and to do the audience segmentation, to do the audience targeting. Now, you have done the audience targeting, you have run your audience marketing campaign. Now, who came on your website? Now, this is the breakdown of your data. Who came on your website, right? So, gender and age breakdown, we would know that, okay, whether old people are buying or new people are buying, male are buying, female are buying. Frequency versus recency, meaning how frequently do they come on your website? Do they come 5 times in a week? Do they come 17 times in a day? All of that. New versus returning. People who buy on your website, are they new customers or returning customers? Device. What device do they use when they transact, when they buy? Because this is interesting. Some people, not some, actually, there's a fair chunk of people, audience, who browse the product on a desktop or a laptop device, right? Let's say if I want to buy a pair of jeans, or if I want to buy, let's say shoes, I'll use my laptop, because on laptop, bigger screen, I can see it better, I can read it better, I can consume the information better, right? Let's put it other way around. Let's say I'm commuting, right? I'm commuting in an LRT or an MRT, and I think of buying a new pair of shoes. So I just go through Zalora, I get all the information, and then while transacting, while placing an order, I go on a desktop. Why? Because desktop tends to be more stable in terms of internet connection. Desktop, because in mobile, suddenly, let's say while doing a transaction, suddenly if I get a phone call, my internet connection is started. Or in general, I want to have a very good convenience while putting my card details. Or I know that while doing a payment, I will be redirected to Maybank to you or CIMB Clicks or whatever banking, right? So I need that convenience in a desktop. So a lot of people browse in mobile but convert in desktop. So all of that information is important to understand. Also, there is acquisition report. As I said earlier, it basically tells you what is the source of the conversion or the traffic in general, and everything that you tag, everything that you, I mean, every marketing campaign basically can be seen there, and you can see average session duration, meaning when someone comes on your website, how much time do they spend? Do they spend 2 minutes? Do they spend 4 minutes? Do they spend 5 minutes? What is the conversion rate they have on your website, right? What is the bounce rate? Bounce rate is, let's say you enter a website and you don't browse second page, you just exit the page from the home page or from the page where you landed. So you bounce. It's like literally bouncing. You go, but you come back. So higher the bounce rate, bad it is. Lower the bounce rate, good it is. Meaning, let's say if 100 people come on my website, my bounce rate is 40, meaning out of 100, 40 people just landed on the website and immediately exit, or did not browse the second page, which is not a good indication. So my bounce rate has to be lower. So when you, as I said, Google Analytics is a free tool. Please feel free to sign up. And I think it's only useful if you have a blog or WordPress blog or something to implement the code. So once you start analyzing the numbers, you start seeing this data, please interpret it this way. Lower the bounce rate, better it is. Higher the bounce rate, bad it is, right? So yeah, then you have behavior related data as well, meaning behavior flow, meaning let's say if once I land on shoes page, where do I go next? Do I go and browse another category, another product, or do I just go and click add to cart and then I check out? What is the site speed? What is the speed with which my page loads? Events. Within the website, I can have a search bar. Within the website, I can have a scroll, right? So what do people do? So it's all trackable, all trackable. And trust me, if you are using Zalora, if you are using Lazada, Shopee, or Food Panda, or any website or any app, business website, all of that data is being tracked and someone is analyzing it. Some digital marketer is analyzing it. Maybe you will be analyzing it someday once you join corporates or once you join these companies. And it's very interesting to see how people react once they are on the website. What is the site content? What page do they browse the most? Which page do they exit from? Which page do they spend more time on? All of that information is available. And the last, conversion, meaning did they convert? And which product did they convert for? So we have, like, as in the beginning we said, we have more than thousands of brand partners on our website: Nike, Adidas, Converse. You name the brand, you'll find it on Zalora, right? And each brand got multiple products, multiple assortments. I mean, there's a variety of assortments. Which particular product, which particular piece is doing better, is being sold more, you can all analyze through your product performance data. This is very interesting. Time lag and path length is basically, here I've put it for your reference purpose. Later you can kind of see this and Google and try to understand, because these topics or these subjects requires, as I said, a very holistic, a very broad, wider training, right? So we are trying to cover a lot of information from a layman's point of view, from an introduction point of view, so that you guys know that what digital marketing is, how you should navigate, what you should pick to deep dive and stuff. So please, later when we share the deck, please pick these terms and Google it. So time lag and path length is basically the information which tells you how long did it take for a customer to convert. Let's say I want to buy a pair of shoes, and a shoe is 500 ringgit worth, but I don't have 500 ringgit with me now. I mean, I have, but I don't want to spend because it's too big. So I will wait for my salary to come, right? Now, I will buy it when my salary comes, but I will start browsing the website now, today, at 12, right? And there are people who do that. So they will browse it, they will compare it, they will find the reviews and whatnot, and then later they convert. So, and in this process, they will come on the website multiple times. So path length tells you how many times, what was the length of the path, how many times did the person come on the website. Now, this is very, very interesting. You might not be able to contemplate, but later you'll find this very interesting. Let's say there's an insurance company. You don't buy an insurance online simply by clicking on a website and deciding, oh, this is what I want to buy. You go, you understand, read terms and conditions, you see what are the benefits, you discuss with your wives or your husbands or your parents or your siblings. Then you again go, you again check, la 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 la. So basically the path length will be very lengthy. Now imagine, in contrast, you want to buy a 10 ringgit worth of a product from Lazada. It's very easy to buy that, right? You don't need a lot of discussion. You don't need to go on Lazada multiple times, right? Now imagine you want to buy 100 ringgit worth of a t-shirt on Zalora, right? Now, of course, you will take some time, or you'll do some comparisons, or you'll see that how does it look like, and you'll probably come twice or thrice on the website. So path length is that. Time lag tells how many days does it require to convert a user, right? Same way, assisted conversion tells which channels helped in converting. It's not that I click on a Facebook ad and I convert, right? It's like I click on Facebook ad, but I don't convert. Then I come again by Google search, then I don't convert. Then I come, you send me newsletter, I click on it, I come, but I don't convert. But all of these channels helped me convince slowly to reach the conversion. So we basically try to identify what is the credit for each channel so that we evaluate them correctly. Anyway, so we are reaching towards the end. One thing I want you to think about and research about later is this: that look, there are different kinds of audience segments, and we as a brand or marketers want to extract money from them by selling the product, right? But it's not very simple. That it doesn't happen in one go. Why? Because users' journey on internet is very complex. They will see a display ad, meaning a banner ad, then they will search about it, then they might even go on a YouTube to research about that, or you might see an ad on a YouTube, social mentions, mobile blog. I mean, the user journey for each person, each audience segment is very different. So in marketing, it's very hard for you to give credit to paid search or retargeting or social or content or affiliate or emails. uh, I mean, it's very hard to give a very straightforward credit. You need to really think about what is the role of each channel, and you have to analyze it using some of these reports: assisted conversion, attribution, how long does it take, and stuff like that. So think about this, and please do search about attribution, digital attribution, because this is something from my experience in market like Malaysia, which is not very mature in digital marketing yet. A lot of digital marketers get it very wrong. And if you don't get digital attribution correct, you will not be able to judge or evaluate the channel performance correctly. If you don't evaluate channel performance correctly, you will not allocate the right budget. If you don't allocate the right budget, marketing budget to channels, you will always have variance. You will not have a consistent performance. So this is very interesting topic. This is very intellectual kind of a topic. And this is, yeah, I mean, this will give you a lot of strength and in building the foundation for your career. So yeah, please go through this. It's not compulsory. This will happen. This will come once you are like 2 years experience, 3 years experience. This will come at some point of time in your career if you walk into digital marketing. But if you have some information, basic information on this, I think this will be very, very interesting. So yeah, these are just for reference purpose, like what the key metrics are, what is the description. We'll share the deck with you. You can go through that. And there are some other report and synthesis related slides, which are very much reference purpose, just 4 or 5 of them, and that's it. This basically tells us that what report you should pull, right? So what was the campaign objective, budget given to you, how much you finally spent, did you achieve your KPI or did you not, which particular month. So this is basically pulling the report and analyzing your marketing effort. This is important, right? So January versus February versus basically month over month comparison of your conversion. How many orders did you get, so that you can understand which month did better, why did it do better, how can you improve it, which category or which channel is doing better. All of these kind of breakdowns. Which creative did better. So again, I think the same stuff which we have discussed in Google Analytics section, you just put it in a nicer consumable format for your management and for yourself. And yeah, then this is the most important part as a marketeer, and most marketeers miss this. You need to have a very strong observation. You need to derive insights from that observation, and then you have to adjust and take actions accordingly. So please note down when you become a marketer, when you start doing marketing, campaign marketing, digital marketing, then please write down your observations, write down your insights, what you learned, and how you want to, change your marketing strategy as per the insights and yeah, that is what we had. Last section was very much for reference purpose, and this is basically the summary. The data is extremely important, and that is the fundamental thing in digital marketing. It's data-driven marketing. One person can have multiple access points to internet. We can connect these together to completely find that person, not as a person, but as a persona. We are actually targeting people who are living in their lives. They are at different stages of making a decision. There are many channels available to target. Each have different benefits and drawbacks. Setting the right goals online will greatly affect your results. So it's very important. This is the summary of some of the first few slides. And I've left these question marks for you to think about. So please go through the deck later. I understand it could be overwhelming going through a lot of information in a 2 hours of a span. And probably for some of you, probably it's for the first time. So it's okay. It's okay sometimes if you don't digest everything. It's okay if you don't consume everything. Why? Because that makes you realize that, oh, how big this digital world is, or what are the triggers to push it to, or what are the areas I need to explore. You know what I mean? It's okay if I can't consume everything in one go. So that is also one of the intention that I had, or we had, that as for students, I mean, let the student understand that, hey, there's a lot that you should explore. So please don't just stick to your curriculum. Don't just stick to your course and the degree or the subjects that you have in your degree or in your college classes, but also do your online research. The digital world is endless and it's evolving and it's interesting and it's very easy to learn. As promised, I actually recently shared a post which has a lot of free resources: Google Digital Garage, Google Skillshop, Facebook Blueprint. All of these links will give you access to free uh, learning resources, and it's all video-based content. So I'll put it here in the chat now. Where's the chat? Let me find the chat and let me put it there. So please go through that and you'll find all the good resources and good links there. And yeah, thank you very much. And I'm open for questions, although we are running out of time, but if you have some questions, I can take that. Okay, Siti, tell me, are we good then? Then should we just call it a session?
Mr. Tejas,
Yeah.
thank you very much for sharing with us some of your insightful session about digital marketing and spending time with us. Now I open the floor to questions. Participants can ask the question to Mr. Tejas, where you can unmute your mic and ask directly, or you may write in the chat box and I will read the question to our speaker. Okay, I have received a few questions from my personal email. The first question is from Sasha Saim. What are the components to understand the expectation of the audience before planning?
Yes. So you need to understand what your audience is looking for. What is the exact product they are looking for, or what is the stage they are in what is their buying capability. These things are important. The link I've shared has a lot of free resources that will also lead you to a tool called Google Keyword Planner. You can also search this, Google Keyword Planner. When you go and sign up here, it's a free account. You sign up here with using your Google account and you search for the product that you are selling. And then you will understand how much people are searching for it. Or you can simply go to Google Trends. Google Trends, select Malaysia. Here, go and type your, let's say, I don't know, like lipstick probably. Right? Select your country, and then you will see, select Malaysia and select the period, and then you will see the trend, right? But I think the Google Keyword Planner will give you a much better option, a much better result in terms of understanding users' intent and users how much they are looking for, what they are looking for, and how much they are looking for. What is the demand basically? And the Facebook data can help you understand for that particular demand what is the different kind of audience layers that you have. Who can buy, who cannot buy, who can buy the cheap ones, who can buy the expensive ones. So yeah, as I say, explore the free resource. You will be surprised to realize that how much of free research tools are available, but are very underutilized. So please feel free to utilize them.
Thank you, Mr. Tejas, for the answer. Next question is, are there any effective techniques or tips that we can improve our marketing to get people more interested with our product and want to buy the product?
Yes, I think this is a very common question, especially for small business owners and new business owners and new businesses in general, because you're not established, people don't know about your product, so you want to drive interest, right? So as I said, you need to drive awareness. How do you do it? I think the best and the effective way of doing that is by is by creating really good video assets, really good banner assets, something which is useful, something which is entertaining, something which goes through their mind. So maybe you can simply, to get inspiration, you can simply search on Google best video ads in Malaysia or best video ads in Singapore or just any market of from the same category as you are, right? So for example, best restaurant ads, funny restaurant ads, so something which went viral, right? Because you want to invest in your creative, you want to invest in your video assets because that is something which will grab attention. Look, in today's time, the problem is, or not a problem, the challenge is there are too many marketers, there are too many companies trying to get the attention of the same user. Look, I as a user, I can be a good customer for Zalora, I can be a good customer for Foodpanda, I can be a good customer for AirAsia, right? Because I travel, I also eat food, I also wear dresses, clothes, right? So, but while browsing Facebook or while browsing internet, Instagram, or while reading something online and seeing the banner ad, my attention is limited. The amount of attention I pay is limited. So it's very important that these brands or these business owners or these marketeers come up with a very interesting piece of video or a very interesting piece of creative asset. It could be video, it could be something else as well. So please be very creative and invest in that, because also that's one of the trends, especially in Malaysia. People don't take creative very seriously. People don't take the ads, the assets very seriously. They just take any random asset, any random copy of an ad and just put it out on internet, and it doesn't give you the results. Also, second tip would be, please do a very good and a thorough research on the USPs, unique selling points, why your product is better than someone else's. Is it because you are giving a good after service? Is it because your cost is cheaper? Is it because what is it basically? You need to highlight that in your ad copies very, very, very clearly. Some people get too creative and forget about mentioning the USPs. So remember the marketing fundamentals, which is reaching to the right eyeballs at the right time and show them the right message. Be very precise and specific. So yeah, these two advices I would give. Invest in your creatives. Even if you don't have money, it's fine. Go to YouTube and figure out that how to take angled pictures, or how to create videos with minimal investment, or it is almost free investment, or how to take crazy videos with good apps or good mobile camera settings and stuff like that. It's all possible. And as you get money, as you get returns on investment, invest more in your professional creative development services. And yeah, focus on USPs and stuff.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tejas. Okay, next question is from For Hui Oi. What kind of advertisement design can attract the audience?
Sorry, what kind of advertisement?
What kind of advertisement design can attract the audience?
Oh, depends really on the industry, meaning what you are trying to sell. But in general, I think video performs really, really well. But if you don't have video assets, then I think you can go with carousel kind of assets. Try to avoid the overused ad formats like banners. Banners are overly used. Link ads are overly used. We saw carousel, right, which is like slide format, and try to get more creative about your slide. So yeah, I think just look at the list of ad formats that you have available in Google, Facebook, Instagram, and ask yourself, if I'm the customer, which ad format will I find more useful, more informative? And yeah, I think that probably will help. At the same time, in terms of channels, if you want to drive attention, if you want to get their attention, go for push marketing channels, because you're trying to push marketing, which is your Facebooks and your Instagrams. Don't go for emails or your Google search kind of thing, because that is when someone has interest, when someone has intent. So yeah. Also, to drive interest or to drive attention towards your product or company, be very specific about targeting. If you notice, I'm sure some of you might have noticed on Instagram, if you're using a particular device, there'll be an ad which shows that, hey, this is the mobile cover for, let's say, S10. How do they know that I'm using S10? You know what I mean? Because they use the data which is available in Facebook that only show S10 cover ad to people who are using S10. So try to get very precise with your targeting. Try to get very precise with the ad format. Do some contemplation and just answer it. And also test and learn. Test and learn. Digital marketing is successful only when you test, learn, and evolve. Test, learn, and evolve. So yeah, just try and just test which works.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tejas. Next question is from Tejas Kirodawal. How can we, as a seller, to get a trust from our customer? Because we are doing digital marketing, not face to face, which is they can see and pick in front of their eyes the thing that they want to buy. So, what kind of medium that you think is effective? It is use of photo or feedback customer to get trust from customer.
So the question is that you want to. I think I understand this second part. Can you repeat the first part? What is it?
How can we, as a seller, to get a trust from our customer? Because we are doing digital marketing.
True. Trust. Yeah. So I think loyalty, trust, advocacy. These are three kind of interrelated topics of marketing. I think you need to use digital marketing to do surveys, right? You can also do digital marketing to do a survey and understand that what is it that you can improve. And every suggestion or every complaint is a hint that a customer is giving to you that, hey, please improve this or improve that. So survey is the best option to go through. And what is the medium, right? So I would say if they are already your customer, and so you should have email address of them. If you don't, then find a way to collect an email address and then send out an email and ask them that, hey, can you please fill this survey, 5 questions or 7 questions, and in return, I'll give you, or we will give you 10% discount or 5% discount or 15 or whatever you can afford. So customer will have something to gain in return by giving you the answers, and the answers they give you as a part of survey will help you understand how can you win the trust. For example, my questions could be, was delivery on time? Was the packaging correct? Did you get after sales service? Was the return happened on time? Or did you get your second product on time? Or you had a default, or maybe taking apparels as an example, right? You returned the product. Why did you return the product? Was it because it did not look same as what is advertised on the website, or it doesn't fit your size, or something like that? Also, try to communicate with them on a regular basis. Regular doesn't mean daily or a more frequent basis, but more like, let's say, by once in 15 days or once in a month, using your newsletter. Send them something interesting. Send them, promote yourself, but also make sure that it helps them somehow. So that way you will win the trust. By giving them the right service, you will win the trust. But to give the right service, you first need to take the surveys. So take the surveys. I think email marketing is the best way to, and it's the cheapest way actually, to do the surveys. And in return, give them some discount so that they feel that, yeah, their opinions are listened. At the same time, they are getting some reward. So yeah, email marketing, I would say, is the right medium to do that. Surveys is the way to do it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tejas. Next question is from Destiny D. How much time should social media marketing take each week? And how long does it take before we start seeing results from social media marketing?
Social media marketing, if you notice, we also covered it today, right? That social is a push marketing channel. Meaning, if you want to drive someone's attention, it's a good one. If you want to drive awareness, it's a good one. But if you were trying to sell something, then it will take some time. and with time it will take some effort. What effort? Optimize. How to optimize? Test and learn. For example, if you're already running for 2 weeks, try to understand which creative did better, which campaign did better. In your campaigns, have multiple ad sets. In one ad set, target just male. Just example, you can think of the audience segment based on your product. Just target male. In different target, in second ad set, just target female. In third, target male with a certain age group or certain interest, right? So that over a period of time, you will figure out which audience segment is giving you a better result, and accordingly you can scale up. And whichever audience segment is not giving you good result, just scale down. Look, it sounds silly, but it's very underutilized or overlooked kind of a thing. Most marketers, especially when they are starting new, they will put everything in one campaign, in one bucket. You can't put everything in one bucket. You need to split it in separate buckets. More you split, more insights you will get. Who performed better, who did not perform better. Also make sure there is the proper hygiene. Hygiene in the sense you are tracking right information, you are tracking the conversions correctly. Sometimes tracking also can be an issue, but that's more of a hygiene problem. I think the answer to the question is that have multiple segments and observe and analyze the segments very carefully. And yes, social will take some time. If you really want to get quick ROI, then please also consider Google search, SEM, search engine marketing, the top ones. Or you can also go with SEO, but SEO is also going to take some time, but that will be a free way of promoting yourself. And if you are saying that social media, not the paid ad side, the social media organic one, then I think you need to build a community. You need to drive conversations, need to build community so that more and more people join. I think social media organic will not drive a lot of volume, a lot of customers. Social media paid ads will do that, but again, as I said, you need to have segmentation, analyze, test, learn, analyze, test, learn.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Tejas. And the next question is from Meneka. May I know how the digital product can help the country to improve its economy in the period of COVID-19 and how to promote it at the market?
Digital products?
Yeah.
I think it's a very broader question and it's a very interesting one. Look, when you talk about economy, or we are basically talking about government and government sustainability in terms of money and stuff. Where do government get money from? Government get money from the taxes. That is the biggest source of their money, right? When we don't buy, we consumers don't buy, brands or businesses don't make money. If they don't make money, they don't pay taxes to the government, right? So in that sense, digital products or products which can be sold digitally or via e-commerce has a huge role, huge potential. And during COVID-19, we have seen that, yes, people, and I think even after COVID-19, people would be very hesitant moving in the mall, right? Because they wouldn't want to, they would practice social distancing. So this will basically encourage e-commerce. This will e-commerce or online buying in general. So yes, this is definitely good for the industry. And if we are selling online, business is making money. Let's say if you are buying more from Zalora, Zalora is making more money, right? If Zalora makes more money, we pay more taxes to government. We pay more taxes to government. It's good for the economy. You know what I mean? Ultimately, users will need the products, whether they buy offline or online, it doesn't matter. So right now we see there's a downfall. Right now we see there's a slowdown. But once people COVID situation improves, people will also go offline. But even when people don't go offline, they will start buying online, and all the delivery systems will be also open. Although Zalora is already delivering, I think some of these guys are not delivering. The small players and stuff, they also start delivering stuff, home deliveries and stuff. So people start buying more. Businesses make more. Businesses make more. We pay more taxes. So to government, honestly, by large, I mean, of course, it's a very broader topic, but by large, as per my understanding, it won't make a big difference. Let's say there are 4 different businesses. Each of them paid 25 to as a tax to government. So it became 100. Now, after COVID-19, your mall guys are only paying 10 ringgit as a tax because there's a slowdown or people are not walking into the products into the malls. But then people are buying online because people still need food, people still need clothes, people still need the DIY stuff, right? So earlier, before COVID, everyone paid 25, but now this one paid 10, but this one pays 40. This one pays maybe 25. This one pays 20. So overall, it becomes 100. You know what I mean? So yes, this is a slowdown, and this is a slowdown for everyone. But I think over a period of time, we'll see that government will get it, and maybe online will deliver more towards economy, and I think it will stabilize after some time.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Tejas. The next question is from Aisha. She has three questions. The first one is, what are the qualities of good advertisement?
Good advertisement. To summarize, I can put it in a one simple sentence. Reaching the customers at the right time, at the right moment, with the right message and the right product or the right info. So yeah, that's what I would say as a good advertisement. The answer to the question, like how can we reach the right audience? The answer is audience targeting. Go deeper into segmenting. Let me just reply. I think we are overrunning. I had another meeting. I just replied them that I'll take 10 minutes more. Sorry, just one.
Okay, maybe this one is the last question, I guess.
Okay, the last question is,
No.
can you?
Because I think
That's the last
Mr. Tejas
question.
is running out for a meeting. I think we can call it a day,
Okay, so
Khalid.
Okay,
thank
sorry.
you.
So I'll just finish. I'll just finish the previous one. So yeah, so right moment, right person, and right message, right product. How do you do that? How do you reach the right person? Audience targeting. Go deeper into understanding the data available with Google and Facebook, and target your segments. Right moment. How do you figure that out? From the data. What is the So for example, when someone is searching for buy shoes online, and if I'm not present there, I'm missing out. I have to be present, right? And right content or right product. So understand, I can't be showing sports related stuff to a 45 years or 50 years old lady. Maybe running shoes fine, but sports related stuff, no. You know what I mean? So I need to also rely on the internal data. So again, I would just summarize this answer as, look, digital marketing is a data driven marketing. All the answers that you seek are within data, some part of the data analysis. So more you go and go deeper and understand this better, you will be able to do the ideal marketing, as the question was. Don't worry, we have some 5-10 minutes more. Yeah, maybe 5-6 minutes more. Yeah.
So are you sure, Mr.
What's
Tejas?
the other question?
Because there will be like 2 more questions. Okay.
No worries. I think we can cover that.
All right, Khalid, over to you.
The second question is, are there any categories measuring scale defined for studying dialogue and tagline of advertisement?
Sorry, Khalid, I didn't get you. Could you repeat?
Are there any categories measuring scale defined for studying dialogue and taglines of advertisement?
Oh, yes. Let me, I forgot the resource. But there are online portals. Also, you can actually search on Google. Think with Google. I mean, there's a portal. There's a website called Think with Google. There's also a website called Grow with Google. When you go there, you'll find a lot of case studies, a lot of successful case studies from the region: Gojek, Grab, Food Panda, and the best creatives, the best message, the best campaigns they have done. So that can be a good inspiration. They have, I think with Google has a specific section on the website called the case studies or something similar. So yeah, go on Think with Google. That's one of my sources. There are other sources as well. Marketing Interactive. Marketing Interactive is an online digital or a marketing magazine which publishes all of these case studies. So Marketing Interactive, go on Think with Google, go on Grow with Google. So Grow with Google is a website. Think with Google is a website. So please search that, and you'll find. Let me also put it here in the chat with Google. Grow with Google and Marketing Interactive. Yeah, these are good sources for inspiration.
Okay, can we continue with the last question, Mr. Tejas?
Sure. Please.
Sure. Okay, the last question is, how can we avoid shoehorning technical information and sell literature into the script?
This is in context to that tracking stuff, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, tracking. So the question is, how can we avoid the technical information and still understand?
How can we avoid shoehorning technical information and sell literature into the script?
I'm not sure if I get the question correctly. Maybe the one who asked, can you please try to rephrase this?
Aisha, if you still here, can you at least like interpret that question into a simplest way? What was the question again, Khalid?
How can we avoid shoehorning technical information and sell literature into the script?
Okay.
Not very sure.
I'm also having a difficulty to understand that question.
Yeah, actually, maybe also later if you guys want,
Yeah.
I can maybe you can reach out over LinkedIn or maybe something like that, or maybe through HR or something, and I can help you with the answer.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's it. That is the easiest way to reach you out. If they do have any further inquiries about digital marketing or advertising, towards what actually that you have explained today, I think like there are, have heaps of questions. But since that we are running out of time, and then you are catching up another meeting afterwards, so yeah, I think like over to you, Khalid.
Okay, it seems we have come to the end of the program. I would like to thank Mr. Tejas Kirodawal once again for your precious time sharing your expertise with us. And thank you to all participants for joining this program today. And we hope that it will be beneficial to you to achieve what you just obtained from our renowned speaker, especially in the digital marketing matters. We really hope that this workshop will direct you in the road to success in the near future. We also would like to thank to University Teaching and Learning Center UTLC for supporting us in organizing a virtual workshop and corporate communication for the promotion and advertisement. So thank you very much. Last but not least, I want to tell you to wait for more activities on our Upscale Battleground virtually connected series, and one is coming up on 19th May, titled Attractive CV and Interview Skill Workshop conducted by an established company next week. So stay tuned and kindly register. With that, I end our session with Assalamualaikum and have a good day. Stay safe and thank you.
So thank you very
Thank you,
much
Khalid.
once again, Mr. Tejas and Rachel, for this great collaboration. And we look forward to at least having this kind of activity in the near future. Maybe we could break it down into a couple of hours rather than this lengthy one. So once again, thank you
Sure.
very much to Zalora Group, and we are very honored to have you for our session today. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khalid, and thank you, Siti Salmi. If I may just end with some thoughts, or leave basically students with some thoughts. Guys, we need to understand that usually we buy insurance. Maybe not you, but you have seen your parents or some grandparents buying insurance.
Okay.
We buy insurance to protect our needs, to protect our family and the future needs and stuff. So you need to see, because you are students and at a very critical stage of your life, you need to see knowledge as an insurance. Because if you acquire knowledge now, if you see knowledge as an insurance, it will protect you, it will guide you, it will ensure your future. It will ensure all your needs, especially during COVID-19 situation where a lot of people from offline world are gonna, I mean, it's unfortunate, but some of them are gonna lose their jobs, right? So that's why we always encourage that if you have skills, if you gather knowledge, online knowledge, it's very easy to insure yourself. Number one. Number two, digital marketing is not as complex or tough as it has been perceived sometimes.
Yeah.
All you need is already available online. So I would like to encourage the habit of self-learning, self-development, and self-exploration. Just go to Google and type how to learn Facebook advertisement. You'll find Ad Espresso, a lot of free resources. You may even reach out to people like me or anyone on LinkedIn who you find are relevant digital people. And no one, in my opinion, no one would say no to help you for free, or at least give you the free resources, right? So please see this as something doable, something within your reach, and also keep in mind that you guys are as a bunch of youngsters are the future, near or the far future of Malaysia's digital economy. Some of you would be working in bigger companies than we are working. Some of you would be working in the similar companies that we are, or maybe in the same company as we are, right? So please have a very high self-esteem, very high self-confidence, and please prepare your learning plan. Learning is very, very, very important. Please don't see learning as something limited to school or college time. Digital is constantly evolving, technology is evolving, digital is evolving. The way to market is also evolving. So please continue to learn. There are a lot of free resources. You are the future, so please prepare yourself accordingly. And with that, I would really like to thank everyone for being a very, very, very good listener. I wish we would have we had a very interactive or one-on-one kind of a physical session, basically in a physical setup. But never mind, we had a virtual workshop. This was good enough for now, and really looking forward for everyone's growth. Wishing you all the good luck, and thanks for hosting this session.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Tejas. So I think with that,
over to you, Rachel. Sorry, Sister. Yeah.
Yep, that's all right. So I think with that, I would like to call it a day, and then wish you a very safe at home during this COVID-19, and stay safe and stay at home. So I think therefore we end this session. Thank you very much once again to you, Mr. Tejas and Rachel, for this session. So thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Rachel.